6:01, good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. Happy Friday, I'm Justin Hawkins. A wild one on Thursday Night Football last night as the Bengals beat the Steelers 33-31. Bengals quarterback Joe Flacco threw for 342 yards and 3 touchdowns. And wide receiver Jamar Chase with a franchise record 16 receptions, while also compiling 161 yards and a touchdown. Kicker Evan McPherson on his 4th field goal of the night won the game for the Bengals on a 36-yarder with 7 seconds left in the game. In the MLB last night, the Dodgers are 1 game out of making the World Series as they beat the Brewers 3-1 in the NLCS to take a 3-0 series lead. Game 4 tonight on TBS at 7:38. And then in the ALCS, the Blue Jays tied the series up at 2-2 with an 8-4 win over the Mariners, and Game 5 tonight at 5:08 on FS1. This weekend, former Titans head coach Mike Vrabel and the 4-2 New England Patriots come to town as interim head coach Mike McCoy leads the Titans at Nissan Stadium in his first game since taking over. Lee Company Countdown to Kickoff starts at 9 a.m. before Titans Countdown on Titans Radio at 11. And then it's Taylor Zarzour, Dave McGinnis with the call for Titans and Patriots at 12 o'clock right here on The Zone. And tomorrow is the 3rd Saturday in October. The number 11 Tennessee Vols taking on number 6 Alabama Crimson Tide. Under the lights in Tuscaloosa with kickoff at 6:30. Mike Keith, Ramon Foster on the call for Vol Network. The coverage beginning at 4 o'clock right here on The Zone. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Away we go into a big Friday show. You are listening to Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee on 104.5 The Zone, 615-737-1045. How you join us. Coming up, a shorthanded Tennessee Titans team is going to try to beat Mike Vrabel in Nissan Stadium on Sunday. Can they do it, and what are fair expectations for an offense that is going to need some help in order to have success against the Pats on Sunday? We've got a ton of Tennessee-Alabama talk, of LSU Vandy, of Georgia Ole Miss, everything in between. Stephen Godfrey's in studio at 8. Tate Matthews at 9, previewing Week 9 of high school football. And Ron Slay at 9:20, as always. Stream it live on 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. Live for the 104.5 The Zone Circa Sports Studio. Kentucky's largest sports book. Gosh, I almost pitched a perfect game. Can now be found at Circa Sports at Kentucky Downs. Good morning, Ramon Foster.
That's what I was thinking, man. I was just like, man, Will, because I'm over here struggling trying to untangle my headphones.
And then I overcooked it.
And then you were cooking. I was like, my boy going off right now, man.
Friday, we're acting like it.
And then you had a slip up. We all have them from time to time, long as the show goes on, and it will.
Of course, it was on the word Kentucky.
It was. I thought you was going to say Kentucky. Like, that was the part where you messed up at. So
next week.
Look at you trying to be a professional out
next
here.
Week.
Yeah, absolutely.
Last night in Cincinnati, the Unk Bowl did not disappoint.
It did not.
Cincinnati Bengals 33, Pittsburgh Steelers 31, and Jamar Chase over Jalen Ramsey. Over and over and over and over.
Cooked.
And over. Condolences, Ramon, this morning after losing to the Cincinnati Bengals last night.
Competitively losing, I'll live that life, okay? I'll live that, considering we see now also why Coach Tomlin was upset at Browns GM Andrew Berry.
Yes.
And he said it, threw him a lifeline, and Joe Flacco was a lifeline, man. To your point, Jamar cooked. Jamar Chase cooked, man.
We're both slipping up this morning.
He was like mistakenly catching footballs. He was catching footballs. He was getting DPIs on people. He absolutely worked that Steelers secondary up and down the field, and you knew they were going to him. And not just him, the 1-2 combo that they have with T. Higgins, man, where he caught one over the middle and just absolutely sprinted away from the defense.
I mean, slant routes were in vogue last night for Cincinnati.
The one thing that was working for Cincinnati as far as their team before Joe Flacco was nothing. They had no run game. They had no passing game. Remember, I brought this up yesterday when we talked about Coach Tomlin being upset at Andrew Berry for giving him a lifeline. It was because of those two guys, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. You don't want to waste them away. I don't know how they coerced the Browns into trading for Joe Flacco, but they did. And that's because they knew those two dudes right there, if they got going, the run game got going. Cincinnati wasn't known any of this year as being a rushing team whatsoever, and they absolutely kicked the Steelers in the face. And again, I saw Cam Hayward's comments afterwards, just like, that's embarrassing. They let a team run on them that hadn't been. Yeah, but that's what happens when you also have balance. You have a competent quarterback. You have Joe Flacco running a run option play for 13 yards.
Naked boot for Joe Flacco. I thought he was going to need a hip replacement by the end of it. It's one of those where when he runs, you're like cringing. I'm like, oh, don't hurt yourself. Oh, just please be. Okay, all right, he got down. Like it feels like elder abuse when either of these guys get hit.
It did. Not only just that, I didn't know he had wheels.
I don't think he knew he had wheels. All of a sudden, he just appeared past the first down line. Jamar Chase, 16 receptions. For 161 yards, 23 targets, had a touchdown as well. It wasn't just Jalen Ramsey. I mean, Joey Porter Jr., Darius Slay, Brandon Echols, they were all on him and could not cover him.
Yeah.
And really, this was the talking point of the offseason, Ramon, for Pittsburgh, was you went and got Jalen Ramsey and Darius Slay in order to limit games like this from happening when you play Cincinnati. And club record, 16 catches on 23 targets, tied for third most in a game since 1978.
Yeah.
It feels like Joe Flacco, I tweeted this out last night, is kind of like the all-time quarterback of the AFC North. I think he should be the all-time backup quarterback for all four teams at once. Like, honestly, I could see Joe Flacco playing in a game, and if Pittsburgh had needed him last night with Aaron going down, just throw on a different helmet, just have a generic gray uniform.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow goes down. He's in Cincinnati on Thursday. Oh, Lamar Jackson still hurt on Sunday. Here comes starting at quarterback, Joe Flacco. He legitimately looks like a dad at Thanksgiving playing all-time quarterback for both teams in the family.
Seriously.
Is what Joe Flacco looks like.
And just announced him as your AFC North quarterback.
Yes, that's absolutely right.
Joe Flacco. And everybody, at this point, I don't even think anybody can be mad at what Joe Flacco's doing.
It's really impressive. It's really impressive.
And he said it's already a little bit of an article that he was talking about. It's like, man, it's on me to maximize everything I can when it comes down to this sport. Because they were asking him, how are you retired, basically, and came back and said he couldn't forgive himself if he didn't do what he's doing right now. I was just like, yeah, shut up. Just because you get multi-million dollars to come in to do this gig. But with all that being said, it does look like he's having fun. Well, last night he did. The Browns situation is a little bit different. It seems a little bit just dysfunctional as heck when you look at what they are as a team. But again, he competed. He paved the way for them. He allowed them to have a lifeline, and he does the same thing in Cincinnati. Yeah. 16 receptions, though. I know Joey Porter Jr. has a reputation.
So many catches.
But, like, think about the stolen yards that they also had because of the DPIs that he contributed.
Right. And it's the kind of game you kind of expected DK Metcalf to have against a very bad Bengals secondary.
And started to until they shut him down.
At the beginning of the game, right?
Yeah. And like, right now I'm looking at the team stats. Cincinnati had 3 first downs because of penalties. Like, and here's the thing about it. They were all penalties. Joey Porter over his back, Jalen Ramsey over his back, the tugging of the shirt. Like, it was... For a team that's got that many names and have that type of rush up front, it was highly questionable how you can sustain that level of play that Cincinnati had against that defense. But again, it's the competence of the quarterback position, man. It absolutely was. In Pittsburgh, 7 penalties for 59 yards. Cincinnati played cleaner. They also intercepted. What they did last night, too, is they doubled the stars when they came down to Pittsburgh and their opportunity to throw down the field. They had safeties over the top and corners underneath, man, and they took footballs away from guys. Yeah. It was DK Metcalf, got one taken from him last night on the sideline. Cincinnati came more ready to play in that game as far as where they are, the fight to claw back to 500 before Joe Burrow can get back into the fold. That's what that move was about. I got to give it to him, Cincinnati, or Zach Taylor, whoever felt like, look, y'all got to give me something. And he got it.
It was impressive, no doubt. I think the most impressive part about the way the Steelers played is how far Aaron Rodgers could throw it on his Hail Mary attempt.
Chucked it, didn't he? He chucked it.
Pretty impressive.
He chucked it.
For how done I thought Aaron Rodgers was. I did not expect him, even on a crow hop, to get the ball about 60 yards in the air.
Crow hop. You're right. It's interesting looking at that game, though, and how it unfolded. Divisional games just mean more.
Weird things happen in divisional games like this when you know the opponent so well that you know how to take away what they do best on both sides. And Joe Flacco knows the Steelers so well, and that certainly didn't hurt him last night. I think it was, I saw before the broadcast, it was the 25th time in his career that he had played against a Mike Tomlin Steelers defense.
They were 11-11 as a tandem, Joe Flacco and the Steelers. So he's 12-11 now.
Okay.
Yeah, he may
The
have
math
been
isn't
in the
mathing
games
somewhere there.
Well, he
but
might have been
sure.
inactive.
Sure.
They told me, they said last night on the broadcast, that record is 11-11. So
Yeah, he got the better of him now.
he got the better of him as a starter, that's for sure.
615-737-1045 is our number. We stream the show live for you on 1045 The Zone TV. Our Faces for Radio on Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. Coming up, what is a fair expectation for the Titans offense against New England when you're likely not going to have Calvin Ridley? You got defensive issues as well from an injury standpoint. The edge rusher room looking very thin. I think there's one thing the Titans can learn from last night's game that honestly, they need to copy and paste from the Cincinnati Bengals. And we'll do that coming up next.
It's Ramon and Will for Window Nation. Good people, October is here, which means the latter part of the season, which means the winter season is near. And here's what we're trying to tell you, man. If you want that chilly air staying outside of your home because you got old, stuck, or cracked windows, then you need to look at Window Nation, man. You can eliminate annoying drafts once and for all with the top quality replacement windows. Again, Window Nation is some of the best to do it. When it comes down to replacement windows, none better. Simply put, the best part about it is this, man. If they do come to your house and they have to replace your windows, their crews can finish the jobs in one day or less, so you can get back to living your daily routine, Will.
High quality windows service, replacement, and high quality deals as well. This month, when you buy 2 windows, you'll get 2 for free. There's no limit either to how many windows you replace, and your total price includes 1-day installation. So make no payments for 2 years, no monthly payments, no down payment, and no interest until 2027, which is also a big deal with the holidays coming up. 866-90Nation or online at windownation.com. Schedule a fast, free estimate with the pros at Window Nation, online at windownation.com. Friday morning, good morning, Will. 104.5 The Zone, fueled by Scooter's Coffee. Scooter's Coffee in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. So, Ramon, I feel like there is a lesson that the Tennessee Titans can learn from Cincinnati last night. All right, Cincinnati had a season-long run of 13 yards coming into this game last night against the Pittsburgh Steelers. They had not run for more than 85 yards in a game, and they ran for 142 on Thursday at 6.2 yards per carry.
Right.
At some point, the game of football can be simplified to, can you win one-on-one matchups with your 5 big guys up front? And honestly, it's time for the Tennessee Titans offensive line to just go out and block somebody and create some holes in the run game.
Mm-hmm.
Without Calvin Ridley this weekend, 2 days without practice, I would not expect him to be out there against the New England Patriots on Sunday. If Elikiah Manor is wide receiver 1, and no disrespect to Elick, but Ramon, this team's going to have to run the football in order to have any level of success and steal a game against the New England Patriots. The way you win Sunday, to me, is 12 personnel, have an awakening in the run game the way Cincinnati did last night, and then have Cam take some shots and go downfield and play action because of what you do in the run game. Fair?
Very fair. At some point, too, Cam's got to just throw it up to guys and catch balls. Maybe a little bit of air under it, because I will say this. The strategy of getting DPIs is real, too. I know the completion means a whole lot more to you, but making DBs be on edge when it comes down to throwing the flag, and I got a feeling that Patriots defense is going to be hyped up themselves because they know what this game means. So on top of they want to just keep their winning streak going too as a squad. But Will, you mentioned the simple things up front. To me, when we looked at this team all throughout training camp and what they were capable of and the names that they are and the reputations that they have, their size, the athleticism, their ability to go side to side, up and down the field is there. You're 100% correct. They even have John Njoku to be an extra offensive lineman from time to time.
The way that, even Pittsburgh did that last night, too.
Both squads did that last night.
Both teams.
About the lessons that could be learned. Pittsburgh was bringing in Darnell Washington, who was DMR here, right?
Darnell Washington, I don't know if you can compare anyone to Darnell Washington on this roster. Darnell Washington is honestly closer to John Njoku size than he is David Martin Robinson size.
He's closer to he is.
He's a 300-pound tight end.
He's close to the J.C. Latham size.
No, 100%.
He was bigger than Dan Moore last year.
On the broadcast last night, they just said Darnell Washington, height, whatever it was, weight 300 plus. Okay.
I heard what it was.
Really? Yeah, it's plus. He's
That's
like
a big human being.
Yeah, we had Megatron. Yeah. There was the nickname for Calvin Johnson. This actually looks like Megatron, like the Transformer.
Right to be fair, he could go play. He could start at tackle.
Yeah, and make a lot more money.
And I don't think anybody would bat an eye to him. But let's correlate the two personnels then, not the actual people. Okay, Darnell Washington's DMR here. You got John Njoku, who could play extra tight end. That was Spencer Anderson last night. The creativity, I must give it to Arthur Smith last night, and how he asked that offensive line up front. We're just gonna beat them up. It's a short week. We ain't got no time to play around with them. Let's go run the football and be really good at it.
From a lot of different looks, too. Misdirection, wide zone, duo.
Motion,
everything.
Tight end lead. Yeah. It was a lot of tight end lead with an extra offensive lineman. They did everything 100%. That you want them to. And that's what you have to do when you're either trying to supplement yourself and playing in a short week, or to your point, Will, the same as Cincinnati, get the run game going. And not just that, but to commit to it, though, man. They attempted to rush the ball. Cincinnati did last night 23 times. Pittsburgh only rushed it 20. The thing that I'm getting at is this. At some point in time, you just got to continually, to your point, Will, that you're making, you got to pound that rock. And eventually, with the pedigree of the guys that you have, it's going to crack for you. There has to be a flow to it also. I was looking at Cincinnati last night. It was like 3rd and 4 and 5. And they're running the football.
And two, like, even if you aren't running it on 3rd and 4, you finally put yourself in 3rd and manageable to where what you're doing is unpredictable.
Thank you.
And the defensive ends can't get as wide to just get down and pin their ears back and rush the quarterback, because they have to respect the way you can still run the ball on some of these 3rd downs.
Yes, and that is the balance that you're looking for. Like, screw watching the guy throw the football. Hey, 3rd and short, that means we can throw it. No, you got to get to a point and to player to player and as a unit up front and say, we got to go get these first downs. There has to be balance in what we're attempting to fulfill as far as our game plan go. And that's been very problematic for this team. It's been popcorn, man. The way you'll have it secured on the left side, but not on the right side. Or they blitz you up the middle and somebody doesn't pick up the linebacker. Like, that communication has to be at the forefront this week, man. Hopefully, with Coach McCoy and his staff doing more individual, having more time in the individual period, these are some of the things they can take time to work on. Let's talk about the scheme and shell of the front seven of the New England Patriots. Instead of saying, hey, all 11 together, let's go through the script. The script is fine if you can actually execute it.
Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Exactly. What is your plan as a small group before taking it to the all-22?
So Elikiah Manor this season has 17 receptions on 34 targets for 196 yards and 2 touchdowns. As far as we're concerned, he's wide receiver 1 on Sunday. You don't expect to see Calvin Ridley. Cam Ward has thrown just 3 touchdown passes this season, tied for the fewest among 34 qualified quarterbacks. The only number 1 overall QB since the 70 merger with fewer touchdown passes in their first 6 career starts. Luckily for Cam Ward, 2 Hall of Famers. Terry Bradshaw had 2. John Elway had 1. Alex Smith had 0. Now, you're talking about different NFLs when you go back into the John Elway and Terry Bradshaw record books.
Run.
What's a fair expectation for this offense, and how do you piece this together? You've already dropped your head in frustration for those who aren't watching on Zone TV. Because, Ramon, this team's best pathway to being successful in this football game, based on the weapons available to them, probably isn't spreading it out and being wide receiver heavy.
Right.
It's honestly probably 12 personnel, running the football, shortening the game, helping out your defense a little bit, who, by the way, has Jahad Ward, Jalen Harrell, and Ollie Gay as their 3 healthy edge rushers.
Go.
I know tempo is where Cam probably feels more comfortable, and maybe they say, forget it, that's just what we're going to do, just to make the quarterback most comfortable. But in a game like this, Ramon, it's the kind of game that Mike Vrabel won a lot here.
It is.
Can you shorten the game? Can you get in 12 personnel? Can you lean on them for 4 quarters and just grind out something? What's your expectation for this offense with Mike McCoy just having a couple days to prepare?
My expectation is what you're speaking of. There has to be a twist that they don't know about, the New England Patriots. Like, one thing is we know the playbook is not going to change. We know that the play caller is still in place too. What can Mike McCoy as a head coach guide this team into doing? There were times where we were without Ben in 2019, my last year, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was 2019, and we went Wildcat with a running back, and they could not catch up to it. I'm not saying that's the case for this team, but to your point about having to slow the game down, run the football, make it out of the stadium, time of possession meaning a lot, no penalties. And again, if it does come down to you having to throw the football, go heavy. And I'm talking about big personnel. I'm talking about if John Njoku's got to be brought up again. DMR has already incorporated himself into this offense as far as getting a touchdown this week. Like, the line of scrimmage has to be won. Well, to me, that's the only pathway into getting the job done this weekend. I don't think you're going to have the time because this offensive line hadn't shown us that they can stand up in those moments as far as the pressure goes. And also the down and distance hasn't assisted them either in making it to where you can run or pass the football. So it has to be boring, but there has to be a wrinkle somewhere. And I don't know if that's using the Wildcat. I don't know if that's a flea flicker that they've attempted to do from time to time. I really don't have an answer because I don't know what the expectations are anymore.
Jim DK getting the ball to him out in space. I mean,
but he's a down the field guy.
Not necessarily. I mean, they've got him going on screens and on end arounds that just haven't worked.
Do you trust him in the special teams part of this team too? 100%. Considering what the Raiders did last. But like everything that they've done well, other teams have kind of stopped. Like the special teams component was somewhat shut down last week.
Yeah, they didn't have their best game in Vegas. I mean, honestly, it just comes down to you've got 4 first-round pick linemen and a $100 million lineman who's the other one. Just go win in the run game. And it's not that easy. It sounds really easy, but it's not that easy. At some point, this offensive line is going to have to live up to some semblance of their expectations before the season. because this offense was built on them setting the tone and setting the foundation, and they haven't been. The thing I'm curious on, and it's maybe an underrated part of Bill Callahan's exit, Bill Callahan is also run game coordinator for this team. Do you have different looks? Can you come up with different ideas? Is there a different model of success in the run game in the way that someone on that staff scripts it based off of what Bill was doing? I don't know, but we're going to get our answer. I don't see a pathway to the Titans having a lot of success offensively in this game without them running the ball effectively. And when they need to get a couple yards, being able to sustain some drives and get 3, 4, 5 yards, especially not with the edge rushers they're missing, because Arden Key has missed another day of practice. Draymond Jones got added to the injury report with a knee yesterday and was a non-participant, which is a big concern because he started to have his best game against Vegas as well. I mean, you're looking at Jalen Harrell, Ollie Gay, and Jihad Ward at edge rusher.
Yeah. Offensively, real quick, you mentioned Chimere DK. End arounds, I mean, wide receiver jet routes.
They've tried it. Yeah, they've done it.
When you're looking at the personnel of what they are, it's got to be Chig, it's got to be Gunner. That's where you somewhat started. Like, to your point, you start with the Arthur Smith, Mike Vrabel style offense that they grinded out games with.
2 tight ends.
And I hate to go back to that era, but like, this is that type of game. You're undermanned. You got a coach that's coming in with a real good team, and you have to have the ability to not just 3 and out this thing without going crazy, because that's the other part about it too. You don't want Cam playing outside of himself to where he's turning the football over. He's trying to make stuff happen. That rush that the New England Patriots are going to have is going to start up the middle too. Christian Barmore and Milton Williams will flush Cam as much as they possibly can. And the I guess the most disheartening part about saying that out loud too is we all looked at them this summer in training camp and said the middle 3 is where this is going to be the strength of this team. Dan Moore is going to have his moments. J.C. Latham.
The Titans.
Yeah. Like Dan Moore and J.C. Latham will have his as far as adjusting to playing right tackle again. The middle 3 was supposed to be solid. And they're getting pushed, and they're getting wrecked. And I know Peter's having a good year, but again, if they're on different levels and 2 of them are losing, the one that wins doesn't matter when we talk about this group that's coming in here this Sunday.
Well, and 2, you know that Mike Vrabel knows defensively that the Titans don't have an explosive pass game. So they also know that the Titans' pathway to winning is probably 12 personnel, run the football, set up play action, and go deep. Yeah. And that box is going to be loaded. So you're going to have to open up the run game with some kind of efficiency on offense in the pass game, whether that is taking advantage of one-on-ones with out-breaking routes or quick in-breaking routes to Elikai Manor and honestly Chikakonkwo.
It's got to be quick.
Who I think is kind of like a big slot in this game. I think you're looking at Chim DK as a guy that could get more opportunities. Tyler Lockett, dare I say Xavier Restrepo? Is it time? Is it going to be time this year, Ramon? I know Easton Freeze wrote a column about this at A to Z Sports saying he's ready to give Restrepo Tyler Lockett snaps. Are we going to, like, the team's 1-5. They can't turn their nose up at anyone on the roster who can help them. And if they didn't believe that Xavier Restrepo could help them, he wouldn't still even be on the practice squad. Right. Is it time to see him, in your opinion?
Well, we're talking about 8 receptions for, what are you at, 52 yards? Yeah, it's time. It's at this
who
point,
has 8 receptions, 52?
If I'm not mistaken, this is Lockett on the season.
Right.
Yeah. 8 receptions, 52 yards. For what he got to come in the veteran presence, I need a little bit more than that. At this point, yes, Will. Like, if we're going to be real about this, there is a lot of tape that needs to be had for the young guy surgeons that they got to have for this squad. Like, the movement that has to happen with these dudes stepping up, because that, to me, is a topic that needs to be talked about. In this exit, I mean, in the absence of Calvin Ridley being out, do you see a situation where, I mean, Elikai Manor turns himself into a 1A the rest of this year? Or a solid 2 in next year? Because I do look at the foreshadowing of what next year is, too. He has an opportunity now, man, to solidify himself as a bona fide playmaker in this league. And it's not just him. As you mentioned, it's Chimere. It's also Gunnar Ham, and the other part of this is Xavier Restrepo.
Oh, big sneeze!
Golly, that was a sneeze. But yes, I'm not gonna turn my nose up at this anymore. He's a guy that's a possession wide receiver. He's a guy that's in short space. We'll see what his NFL speed and ability is to get open. That's my only question when it comes down to Xavier Restrepo.
Well,
Can he be blanketed?
And no one's expecting him to be Julian Edelman the first time he plays. And no one's even expecting him to have a Chim DK skill set. Like, he's not going to be an explosive threat to take the top off the defense. But I just think at this point, you got to try all your options.
I say, why not at this point?
I'm not expecting it to fix everything, but you might as well try something.
But the issue that this team has that he could potentially help with is they don't have anybody they can like absolutely go to in every play. I'm not sure if it's him. I'm not going to put that crown on him.
Different guys have been that on different weeks, too, where Chig was kind of that late in the game in Arizona. Elikai Manor was that in Denver. Calvin Ridley was that a little bit in Arizona as well. But, I mean, you're right. They've not had a consistent go-to guy in big situations on third down.
And when it comes down to gotta-have-it moments, he can catch the football.
Yeah.
Speed aside, size aside, he can catch the football.
No doubt. I think it's going to be really interesting. Mike McCoy talking about, what players, not plays. He's saying a lot of the same things that Brian Callahan has been since – the off season and the preseason, and we're going to see what Mike McCoy's version of those answers look like on Sunday. But that being said, I don't think you get the full complement of just you snap your fingers and all of a sudden this is a spread offense and you're running Cam out of the pocket all this time and you're going downfield. Like, if Calvin Ridley was there, sure, maybe we could just see a spread offense, really, and a ton of shotgun and a ton of movement, a ton of RPOs. Without Calvin Ridley in the lineup and the way that you have got to piece this thing together offensively to have a chance, I think you may double down on ground and pound.
It has to.
And take some opportunities when you feel like you have them in the play action game.
But it's this weekend too. You have to limit the perception that you're also just going to be beaten to a pulp too. I think that has to play a part.
What do you mean?
As a staff and just as a representation of this team, like this staff has nothing to do with Mike Vrabel, but the franchise does. And looking at the parts that may be out, Calvin may be out, Arden Key may be out, just those two in general, right?
Femi Oladejo's definitely out.
Femi's out also. The expectation that you want J.C. Latham to have a bounce-back week. And New England's one of the hottest teams in the NFL. And Mike Vrabel is very petty. I mean, just like anybody is. If I get my lick back, I'm going to get it as hard as I possibly can. The keep-away game that they have to have as a staff to not be part of the embarrassment, to not have to hear the crowd and hear the Titans media ask them questions after the game, there's an element of that too. And you do as much as you possibly can as a coach to say, you know what? We didn't lose by 20. And I do think that's a part of this game coming. It's so much against them. That's what sucks about this is these guys are NFL players on the Tennessee Titans roster, but there's so much against them, especially starting off, to be quite honest with you, with a rookie quarterback. That in itself is a challenge, especially when at this point of the season, 7 games in for him, there is no one thing that this offense has given to him that he can do well, right? And that's the hard part about saying, yes, there's optimism going into this weekend, even with the coaching change. I don't know what players over plays is going to look like for Mike McCoy and what he's telling Bo Hardegree offensively. But to this point, this squad hasn't given him anything that's his calling card. And that's tough going into this type of matchup.
I don't think it's just on what the staff has given him, too. I think it's on what Cam has given the staff.
Well, yeah.
He's not mastered any of the concepts that he's been given either.
Yeah.
I think it's a two-way street. 615-737-1045, our number as we wrap up the opening hour of the show. Who or what is the X factor in Tennessee, Alabama? We'll preview the third Saturday in October for you coming up next.
It's Ramon Foster for Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Man, nobody wants to deal with any of those type of problems, man. The plumbing, the HVAC, the electrical emergency that come down with just owning a house, an apartment, wherever your dwelling is, man. Most of the time, you don't know what it will cost. if it'll get fixed right, or if someone is just trying to sell you something that you do not need. But when you call Hiller, the experts are going to solve your problems pretty quickly, man. And the price you're told, that's the price that you'll actually pay. There are no hidden fees or surprises when you get your bill. They itemize every part of it so that you understand what you're paying for, what you ask them to come over to fix, and the warranties that come along with them servicing your home also. Hiller's been in business for over 35 years, and they're family owned and operated too, which we enjoyed that. Their techs are very professional, experienced, and trustworthy, and they're all background and drug screened too. So there is a little bit extra layer of trust involved in it. When they're on their way, you'll receive a photo of that tech and link to track them in real time, so you're not wasting any time waiting for them. The motto is happy you'll be, other services free. Listen, to book with Hiller and learn more about them, simply visit their website at happyhiller.com.
Put Lee Company on your team and stay ahead of the game with home maintenance, repairs, and more. For as little as $14 a month, become a Lee Company Plus member and receive 4 annual visits to your home for your heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical systems. The best part about Lee Company Plus in Middle Tennessee is that you can get all 4 seasons in about 3 days, right? Or even in 1 day. You wake up, it's cool outside, you come back from work, the sun's out, it's hot outside. You got to make sure that your heating system, your air conditioning, your plumbing, electrical systems, everything's running the way that it's supposed to. Well, Lee Company Plus members, not only do you receive 20% off on every visit, you also get priority service. So learn more online at leecompany.com/plus. Platinum Home Protection starts with the Lee Company Plus membership. Get it for just $14 a month. 615-567-1000 is the number to call, or you head online to leecompany.com. That's Lee Company, all you need. Wrapping up hour one, Friday morning, Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooter's Coffee. Coming up, of course, in a half hour, Brent Hubbs of All Quest previews Tennessee and Alabama. With us, streaming live on 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. Stephen Godfrey in studio, going to talk college football as well at 8 o'clock. So, Saturday, tomorrow night, Tuscaloosa. We've talked a lot about this matchup. I can hear your excitement and nervousness.
I am excited.
Good
about
nervous.
This one. Yeah.
About Tennessee and Alabama. Who is the X factor for Tennessee in this game? I think we know what we're getting from Joey Aguilar.
Mm-hmm.
I think we know what we get from really this entire offense at this point. I think you expect to move the ball a little bit. But who's the X factor? Who does this game hinge upon from an individual perspective for Tennessee?
Chris Brazzell.
Oh, okay. All right.
Chris Brazzell, because if he's cooking, then it opens up the rest of the offense. I personally think this is going to be an offensive battle. And if you get your main guy going, then everybody else eats off that plate too. And if he's going, which means the quarterback is having a day too, if the wide receivers are able to catch the football and it's potentially a better run game on the ground too, I look at Brazzell as the balanced guy when it comes down to what this game means to be able to battle against Alabama this Saturday night in Tuscaloosa. It's Brazzell to me, but I got a couple other guys who I think can play a huge part in it too.
But for me, it is corners not named Colton Hood. Okay. And really, honestly, defensive backs not named Colton Hood. I think Boo Carter has got to look like himself again. To me, if I'm picking one player, it's Boo Carter.
Yeah.
Because Ty Redmond kind of is what he is. He's a freshman corner. He's going to make some mistakes. Yeah. He's going to get picked on. He's going to also have some good moments because I think Ty Redmond has been solid at times as well. But ultimately, it comes down to Tennessee's premier defensive back coming into the season that was healthy, playing like it. And Boo Carter's not met expectations for me, Ramon. And for someone that is also going to be asked to make some tackles in the run game, someone that is going to be asked to take away guys not named Ryan Williams, or maybe at times Ryan Williams, as much as they line him up in the slot as well. Tennessee's defensive backs just have to either A, create the amount of turnovers they've created all season, or B, be better on a play-by-play basis for them to have a good shot at winning this game tomorrow.
I side with you there because I do think Ty Simpson is good enough. I think he's smart enough to know where to go with the football.
Yes.
We're in the second year and seeing this Kalen DeBoer style offense. It looks as if Ty Simpson was a great student last year and how he goes about designating who gets the football. Mm-hmm. The creativity that Kalen DeBoer plays with also as far as the different variations in the game. To your point about the secondary being good, though, Will, it's crucial that this Vols team, in my personal opinion, don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. This team, the way Kalen DeBoer is running, and the way Alabama has been under Nick Saban also, there's always a wrinkle with how they go about playing football games, especially big football games. I remember playing the Patriots, and they would throw a double pass, and you'd be like, God, dog, how did you not see this? You see the Patriots run up-tempo when it wasn't their style of football that they were used to playing. You see the New England Patriots run a flea flicker. And what I'm getting at is this. It's those moments right there, Will, to where it's something unexpected happening, and you have to be able to either shut it down or adjust to it quickly to where it's null and void to you. That's the portion of, you're right, the secondary being good, that they have to be able to commit to being disciplined this upcoming Saturday night.
Agreed.
He's going to do something different.
I think what worried you about games like Mississippi State and Arkansas is working in your favor tomorrow, and that's this. There is no team that is immune from losing in the SEC this year.
It's true.
Except maybe if you're playing Kentucky at home. No one with their C game is immune to getting beat on any given Saturday. Yeah. This is where we have to rewire our brains a little bit as SEC fans in two contexts. One, Nick Saban's not on the sideline. Yeah. Nick Saban's not on the sideline. So Kalen DeBoer has shown a propensity to not have his guys totally ready. Yeah. Florida State's the best example of it in week one. Do I expect his team to not be ready against Tennessee? No, I don't. But again, that's a part of this, is that you don't have baked in this idea that one of the best coaches in the history of not only this sport, but any sport is on the other sideline. And even when you played Georgia, you saw that was true in that wasn't a normal Kirby Smart team.
Right.
There is no elite team in the SEC this year that can get by with a C+ performance, even at home. Secondly, I think the thing that works in your favor, well, yeah, I mean, those are the two things. It's the Nick Saban element, and it's there is no elite team element. So if Alabama plays a C+ game or a B- game, can you take advantage if the game's kind of given to you in spurts? And what that means is, if Ty Simpson misses a couple of throws uncharacteristically, if they turn it over uncharacteristically, which they've only done twice this year, can you take advantage in those moments? Because big games like this are games of moments. The way Georgia leaned on Tennessee in the second half of the run game was a moment that Tennessee weathered and then came back and got some more explosive plays in the pass game, got a fumble, and put themselves in a short field. They didn't take advantage when their defense helped them out a little bit. Right. The offense has done its part. So it's hard to be overly critical of Tennessee's offense. But what about those moments where they're given a gift? Can you strike while the iron's hot? Because situationally, Tennessee has not been good on offense. They've not been great in playing complementary football. Last week against Arkansas, Tennessee did not score after its defense gave them turnovers or gave them 3-and-outs. So that's the element of this that's really important for Josh Heupel and Tennessee is, yeah, Alabama's going to make some mistakes because this isn't old Alabama. It's still really good Alabama, but it's not old Alabama. But can you actually take advantage when they do make those mistakes?
That was disheartening about last week. It was upsetting last week against Arkansas, specifically them, because you knew Arkansas was going to push back. You knew Arkansas was going to have an offensive threat to where it was going to get tight for you. And that 17-point lead that you had, it was real, but it's not long-standing if you can't continue to score. That, to me, to your point, has been problematic. I don't know what Heupel's doing as far as his sudden change script that he has, but that's been the issue, I feel like, a couple times in Georgia that happened. At Mississippi State, it did also, and specifically last week against Arkansas, he had those issues of, this is a gift. You need more than 3 points when you're playing SEC opponents. You got to get 7s. This offense, to your point, as much as this defense bleeds and just ooze from time to time, they do create turnovers. They do get off and got to have it moments. It got tight against Arkansas, and they got 3-and-outs or they got a fumble or an interception. Those things happen. Heupel's inability as of late to be able to crush a team when they're down and in the corner,
right?
That's bad.
They get too conservative.
I even look at 2 years ago coming out of the half against Alabama, right, with Joe Milton. Like, that was a moment. Now, Alabama defense stepped up.
Yeah.
They stepped up, but like, there has to be something to where you say, we're going to commit to the run and there's nothing y'all can do, or find the script that's going to be productive in sudden change.
Well, and I think, too, it's what makes Josh Heupel so good in games like this is he's forced to be more aggressive. And he's forced not to be as conservative as he is maybe defending a 17-point lead in the fourth quarter against Arkansas. We're going to see. I think the other element of this, too, in terms of Tennessee X factors, is when Tennessee running backs are given explosive plays, can they score on them? Because Alabama's among the SEC's leaders in explosive runs allowed. They give up some big run plays. They did against Florida State. They certainly did against Vanderbilt. And despite the fact that they really held that Vanderbilt running attack in check in the second half, Vandy hit a couple of big runs on them. I mean, the 65-yard run, Cedric Alexander on the first drive of the game.
Bullied them.
Put Vandy up in this game. Can you, when you are given a big hole to run through, not only just get a 20, 25-yard gain that somebody tackles you deep downfield, can you score on them and get some 30, 40, 50-yard runs? I think those plays are there for Tennessee in this game.
Quick question before we go to break. Environmentally at the coin toss, Vols win it, you taking it or deferring? Just think about the elements.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I love the opinion on the road. You always defer.
Yeah.
Because the crowd isn't quite as loud and salty to start the second half.
Plan on getting a 3
but they're
out.
in their seat for the first kickoff. But you might be able to steal a little bit of a lesser environment when you start the second half because everybody's still in the bathroom.
Facts. I don't know which one I would do just yet because if Alabama goes down and score, that crowd's going to be piped up.
I think you still got a kick.
He's taken it a couple times. We'll see.
615-737-1045, our number. It's a good question, though. Very good question.
Yep.
Tails never fails.
Tails never fails.
Coming up, there's one big reason why the New England Patriots are not the ideal matchup for the Tennessee Titans in terms of the way their defense is going to play the Titans offense. We'll dive into that coming up next.
Selling your home can be stressful, but it doesn't have to be. Get a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. There are no showings, no open houses, no stress. Work with the #1 real estate team in the U.S. and close with confidence. Go to markspain.com today.
What's up? Will Bowling here telling you about my new obsession. This stuff is amazing. Daisy French onion dip. It is my guilty pleasure during football season. There are times where my meal is just chips, wings, veggies, dips, you name it. That's just how I'm spending lunchtime, right? During a day slate of college football, of professional football. Well, now Daisy's come out with this delicious Daisy French onion dip and ranch dip. It's taken the chips and dip game to a whole nother level. Made with real herbs and spices and other ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen. You got to try some. Check out Daisy French onion dip at a grocery store near you.
7:01, good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. Happy Friday, I'm Justin Hawkins. A wild one last night for Thursday Night Football as the Bengals beat the Steelers 33-31. Bengals quarterback Joe Flacco threw for 342 yards and 3 touchdowns. Wide receiver Jamar Chase with a franchise record 16 receptions while also compiling 161 yards and a touchdown. Kicker Evan McPherson on his 4th field goal of the night won the game for the Bengals on a 36-yarder with 7 seconds left remaining in the game. In the MLB last night, the Dodgers are 1 game out of making the World Series as they beat the Brewers 3-1 in the NLCS and take a 3-0 series lead. Game 4 tonight on TBS at 7:38. And then in the ALCS last night, the Blue Jays tied the series up 2-2 with an 8-4 win over the Mariners, and Game 5 tonight at 5:08 on FS1. Coming up this weekend, former Titans head coach Mike Vrabel and the 4-2 New England Patriots come to town as interim head coach Mike McCoy makes his debut in the two-tone blue as he leads the Titans at Nissan Stadium in his first game since taking over. Lee Company countdown to kickoff starts at 9 a.m. before Titans countdown at 11. And then it's Taylor Zarzour and Dave McGinnis with the call for Titans and Patriots at 12 o'clock right here on The Zone. And then tomorrow, the 3rd Saturday in October, as the number 11 Tennessee Volunteers take on number 6 Alabama Crimson Tide under the lights in Tuscaloosa with kickoff at 6:30. Mike Keith, Ramon Foster have the call for Vol Network. Coverage begins at 4 o'clock on The Zone. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Hour number 2 in this Friday morning edition of Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee, 615-737-1045, the number. Brent Hubbs of Allquest coming up in 15 minutes. Your phone calls in the meantime. Stephen Godfrey, Yahoo Sports, the College Football Inquirer at 8 a.m. We'll talk some LSU Vandy, some Georgia Ole Miss, in addition to breaking down the 3rd Saturday in October. And I imagine I will be a little bit further away from the ledge of, well, just any ledge when Godfrey walks in the building. He has a calming presence.
He does have a calming
on our college football fandom. There is a reason why the New England Patriots defense, I don't think, is a great matchup for the Titans, Ramon. This from Next Gen Stats at NFL Plus yesterday. The Patriots defense has limited opposing rushers to 2.4 yards after contact per carry. 3rd lowest mark in the league. New England has 32 run stuffs, meaning are you stopped at or behind the line of scrimmage? 25.2% of the time they stop runs at or behind the line of scrimmage. That is the 2nd highest rate in the NFL. Robert Spillane has 6 of them himself with 31 run tackles, which is top 2 among linebackers. Tony Pollard, meanwhile, has 320 yards after contact on designed runs, which is the 9th most among running backs. Simply put, they don't allow you to take simple run plays and turn them into explosives. They don't let you get to the 2nd level oftentimes, but they definitely don't let you get to the 3rd level. Ramon, this team's way of being frisky on Sunday against New England is what Cincinnati did last night.
Yeah.
Can you win your one-on-ones on the outside, and can you win in the run game and average 6 yards per carry? It's a very difficult defense to do that against.
It really is. And you know they're going to be tough. It's Mike Vrabel's style that he's trying to reincorporate in that team. For all the things that the Gerard Mayo, their former coach, didn't do, Vrabel's done it this year, and they seem to be accepting it. Now, here's the thing about it. We spoke about it briefly a second ago, but at this point, with where this group is, as far as this offensive line and tight ends and the running backs too, hitting the hole the way they need to, they got to figure out at what point are they just going to be bullied, or are they going to start being the bullies too? Like, when we speak about that position, Will, and the game plan has got to be executed.
Yep.
Like, at some point, you got to get tired of getting your butt whipped, or, hey, it's 1st and 10.
Take some pride in your job and realize that you're getting paid a lot of money, too.
This is a non-football thing, but here's what I know, right? Like, to ask that of them is to say, go do your job because we know you're good at it. We've seen you be good at it also. technically, I got to give it to Coach Bill Callahan. They have technique, right? Mentally. I had to sit down with Dan Moore in training camp. He challenges them mentally, too. He thinks outside of the box with those guys. It's not like they're just Neanderthals up there with a blank mind doing work. No, they have the cerebral attitude of playing football also. Where they're missing at, I don't know. I can't even contribute it, Will, too. They've just had guys in and out of the lineup. Screw that. This group is supposed to be that good.
The pros.
If I don't know if Mike McCoy is going to call them out, or if Tony Pollard's finally upset with, look, y'all got to give me something. They can't just be dormant and just say, oh, it'll fix itself.
I mean, it's the same way, right? It's the same way Texas's offensive line took some ownership in what they did last week, and they knocked a really good offensive or defensive line for Oklahoma off the ball. They created some space. They protected their quarterback a little bit. Like, Ramon, this offensive line is healthy again. Yeah. There are no more excuses anymore for the first 5 offensive linemen the Tennessee Titans could put out there on Sunday. J.C. Latham even said it the other day. He said, I mean, that was kind of week 2 for me, right? Like, but if I'm out there, I've got to perform. I've got to be like myself. Well, it's not week 2 anymore for you, man.
No, it's not.
This offensive line has 4 former first-round picks, and then the other guy that's not a first-round pick is getting paid $100 million.
He's upped himself.
Does the motivation factor of losing your head coach and changing things this week, does it spark a higher level of play and an added sense of urgency from players who have not previously shown that through 6 weeks in a Tennessee Titans uniform?
It's either that or just continue to be the laughingstock of the league at this point.
There's nothing this offense can do to be super explosive without the offensive line playing better. It has to start there, doesn't it?
It does. And I want to give you some philosophical football terms and how we got to go about scheming this up. Man. The beauty about football is it is a man versus a man.
I'm with you.
I don't think this is like basketball to where you see the athleticism. This dude is just crazier, more athletic than me. No, we got on the same amount of pads. It's 11 players versus 11. Like, either the coaches ain't did a good job of setting a standard, right? Or they're just okay with getting their butts kicked.
And this analysis probably sounds very simple, but it's supposed to.
And I don't want it to be this way. Like, Moan, I said this.
It's not easy.
We're just like y'all in this.
It's simple. Yeah,
it is. And
both things can be true.
When you tell me, like, I'm not even mad at Kevin Zeitler for getting a spin move on him for a sack.
Sure. It happens. It does.
I ain't even mad at
especially this late in his career.
And sacks. All right, okay, we knew this. Peter Skoronski's doing his thing. Jason, like, we're looking at Lloyd Cushenberry trying to get back from himself too. Fine. All right. But at some point, a step has to be taken because you didn't just go grab the number 1 overall pick and say, we're going to get them beat to shreds, right? They brought those dudes in and drafted those guys in front of him.
Sure.
To say, we're going to protect them and we're going to support them. There's been 0 level of support. The one game that you did win, I hate to even take this away from them, but they didn't have much to do with it. There was a good drive, I think, in the fourth quarter to get it down the field. But where is that unit?
Mm-hmm.
Where is that fourth quarter unit against the Arizona Cardinals? Because clearly it's there. It's a matter of, again, like, either you're going to go get your butt whooped or I suck as a coach. And you've already fired the head coach.
Yeah.
So which one is it now?
I agree.
Amani Hooker said it. They got rid of the coach. If we don't play better, players are next.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they've already made 2 coaching staff changes mid-season. From play caller with Bo Hardigree to now head coach with Brian Callahan. At some point, players are going to have to take ownership of what's gone wrong and just step up, honestly. What are you laughing at?
Savage in the chat. My bad, Savage. I knew I was going to hear from him this time. I knew
Ron Slay of the Effin' and Bang chat says, we're going to stop this basketball slander. I was like, wait, was it me? Because usually it's me when there's any kind of inkling of basketball slander. It wasn't me this time.
What I mean by this is this. What I mean by that is this, Ron Slay. Hear me out, all right? What I'm saying is this. Sometimes there's just a lethal hooper out there, and there's nothing you can do with him. I don't know if football is that way. Football, the component of 11 guys having to do one thing is different, right? And it may be a tandem in football where a quarterback and a wide receiver eat, right? But in basketball, that 5 versus 5, I've seen Ron Slay go and body an entire team. I've seen LeBron James. I've watched Jordan give me the ball. I don't think in football you have that component of it where one person says, give me the ball because the O-line got to be good, the route got to be good, and then you got the component of the defense too. That's all I'm saying, Savage.
Game wreckers are more commonly found in hoops than football is what you were saying.
Giannis, right? He's a game wrecker. Put the ball in his hand, he going to go get it. Sure. Carmelo Anthony, put him in a corner, he going to shoot and score. I don't know if football has that.
Sure.
Again,
we said it in hour one. In the same way that the Bengals offensive line woke up in the run game last night, that's possible for you to do as well. Maybe not to the tune of 6 yards per carry, but that is possible for you to do as well. And Ramon, I wouldn't mind seeing maybe a little more Tajay Spears.
Right.
As well for the way he's playing right now in this offense. Let's go to the phone. Zach in Hendersonville, always he is the warm-up, the opening act to Brent Hubbs, saying some things about the upcoming Vols opponent. And Zach in Hendersonville has some things to say about some Tide. Good morning.
Good morning, Ramon, Will, Justin. I do have a few things to say about some Bammers, so let's get to it. Julio, Titans legend Jones.
Freaking bum.
Amen.
Greg, shut your damn mouth, McElroy.
Man, you ain't handsome.
Derek, another fumble, Henry.
This freaking clown.
Ryan, Nell Salon Williams.
Freaking bum.
I have a poem for the entire University of Alabama. Rolling in the hay, Tyler Bray, Nick Saban on College game day. The state of Alabama.
Oh, hold on, Zach. You got punched out. You're back now. Sorry. Start the end part again, Zach. We lost you for a second.
I got you. That's fine. We'll start it all over again.
Okay.
Rolling in the hay, Tyler Bray, Nick Saban on College game day. The state of Alabama in disarray. WGWTFA. The Crimson Tide will be orange prey. Vols venturing to Tuscaloosa to make it the Tide's D-Day. The Vols will have no roof. Just ask Ron Slay. It don't matter. Vols by 50.
Thank you, Zach. Appreciate the call.
come on.
Coming up, we preview the third Saturday in October. Our weekly visit with VolQuest's Brent Hubbs is next.
Ooh, man, y'all know Genesis Diamonds they got the most amazing selection of hand-picked diamonds at unbelievable prices. But did you also know Genesis has the best selection of pristine, hand-picked luxury pre-owned Rolex watches? In fact, they're having a huge 2-day Rolex event, and it's happening October 24th and 25th. It's an incredible display of Rolex watches at killer prices. I'm talking about Submariners, Daytonas, Pepsis, Batmans. If you know those names, you need to be a Genesis, okay? Including some of the never-ever worn fresh models that people wait years for during this event. You can take advantage of the special pricing and up to 60 months, zero interest financing. And listen to this. With the purchase of any luxury pre-owned Rolex at this event, Genesis will give you a pair of 5-carat lab-grown diamond stud earrings of the highest quality, absolutely free. And if you are already a Rolex owner, bring in your old Rolex to trade, or Genesis buyers will be on site to offer top dollar for your Rolex. Go see the largest selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches in the state and take advantage of the special financing, or get a pair of beautiful 4-carat lab-grown diamond stud earrings valued at $5,000, absolutely free. It's October 24th and 25th, and only at Genesis Diamonds, your home for luxury pre-owned Rolex, located in Green Hills and Cool Springs. See store for details while supplies last.
Ramona Will, 104.5 The Zone, fueled by Scooter's Coffee on the third Friday in October, previewing one of the greatest rivalries in all of college football. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, joined by our very good friend Brent Hubbs of VolQuest on 3, the Vol Network, talking Tennessee and Alabama. Brent, good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm doing outstanding. Hope you guys are good on this Friday.
We are excellent. And I'll tell you what, Ramon is feeling pretty good. I know he told me that y'all spoke about this over the weekend. Ramon has got optimism. The vibes are good. Tennessee is going to find some semblance of a defense down in Tuscaloosa. What's the pathway, Brent? If Tennessee pulls off this upset, what is the number one thing that's got to happen tomorrow night?
Get off the field defensively, first and foremost. There's lots of other things that go on with that, and certainly they have to stay on the field offensively. But Josh Heupel said it best on the Mike Key show yesterday. When you look at this game, what do you got to do? It's the critical downs. You've got to win critical downs, and critical downs for this defense are third and fourth down. They got to get off the field. They've got to be better in zone coverage. They got to be better in man coverage. They got to pressure the quarterback, make him uncomfortable. They just have to be better on possession downs, where they've not been nearly good enough this year, particularly in SEC play.
Well, Brent, there's one thing that's really bad news that Alabama got yesterday. I don't know if you heard this. Ramon Foster will not be doing the pregame flyover in Tuscaloosa this weekend the way he did in Knoxville last weekend. And no word on how Alabama fans have responded to this, but Ramon did confirm with Mike Keith yesterday he will not be supplying a flyover.
I mean, of all the things Ramon does, that's the one that goes viral in the booth in pregame. I mean, there's so many better moments. There's so many more things that I got to talk to Ashley about that one. That she picked that as her one. Maybe Ramon can make him a paper airplane and fly it and throw it. Don't be careful if you throw it out of the booth, because there's going to be Alabama fans right in front of him on Saturday. He will hear plenty from the Alabama faithful during commercial breaks on Saturday. Wow. So that's the one. That there and Auburn are the two places, in my experience, in the booth where fans have, shall I say, interacted or tried to interact with the broadcast crew. So Ramon, you're gonna have to hold your water. You're gonna have to be polished. You're gonna have to be under control. The stuff you're doing in your live chat with Ron Slay this morning on YouTube. I mean, you can't be doing those kind of things, interacting with people on Saturday.
So I can't call nobody an uncouth fool.
Oh, goodness.
I can't say that.
No, sir.
Uncouth fool is great.
You gotta leave your henning at the house, man. You can't bring henning with you, all right?
I can't bring the West Tennessee.
Unless you want to go viral on World Star and not Tennessee Athletics. Yeah.
All I know is Hubs, we got leverage. They got to punch up. I'm punching down, baby.
Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness.
With that idea of punching down, man, or punching up, whichever one got to happen this weekend, young Ty Redmond is kind of going through it a little bit, and I think he's still playing solid. But of course, when you playing against Kalen DeBoer and how you expect him to be offensively, is there's some area in where Tim Banks can kind of protect a young fella, man, while trying to get a win this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, you would like to say you can roll some coverage over and do some things to help him where he would play a little more aggressively or a little tighter coverage. I just don't know with where they're at in the secondary how creative you can get back there. And I think that's the thing that's probably overlooked about this defense. It's not just that you had two good corners last year and Jermod McCoy and Ricky Gibson, but because of the way both those guys were playing, you could play games in the middle of the field more with your safety and your nickel. Right now, it's kind of everybody's just kind of feels like they're kind of surviving or trying to survive. So what you've seen out of Ty Redmond is you saw a guy his first two games was super aggressive, tight coverage. We talked about it going all the way back to Mercedes-Benz Stadium when he filled in for Ricky Gibson in the second half. He was blanketing people. You look what happened to him in the Georgia game, and he's kind of backed up a little bit since then, and he's playing a little more catch, like catch the ball in front of me, and I'll try to get you to the ground. He's not made nearly as many plays the last few weeks as he did the first 2 weeks, and I think that's normal. That doesn't mean he's a bad player. It means he's a freshman. And so I think the part of his freshman life is showing up a little bit because he's having to learn to play next play. And I think he's struggling a little bit with that right now. He needs to get off to a good start. It'd be great if he could make a play early. You got to try to figure out a way to get him a little help over the top. But, hey, I mean, Alabama's going to come down the middle of the field at you. I mean, they're going to try to attack everybody, with the exception of Colton Hood. I think they'll go at everybody else individually in that secondary on Saturday.
With that being said, the safety's got to be good, man, in the run support and also covering those guys over the top, because they will run some patterns offensively that kind of frees them up because they have those type of athletes, Hubs. How good does Idris Farouk, Andre Tarrantine, those guys on the back end, that Boo Carter also coming in nickel settings and dime settings, how good do they have to be over the top of keeping the cap on? Because sometimes that's just a game plan too.
Well, they've got to play well. I mean, they've got to play better than they've played to this point. Now, it's not just them. I mean, you get into zone coverages, your linebacker drops have to be better. I mean, you go back to that 3rd and 10 touchdown throw that Arkansas threw to make it a 3-point game, and your linebacker and your nickel guy are not in phase in zone coverage. Somebody's in the wrong spot. I don't know who, but somebody's not where they're supposed to be, because that middle area right there was a great divide where they threw the football. So it's all layers. So, yes, those back-end guys have to play better than they've been playing. The linebackers in zone coverage have to be better than they've been. Up front, you've got to disrupt Ty Simpson. You've got to knock him. You got to try to knock him out of rhythm. And nobody's really been able to do that the last few weeks. I mean, he had, I think, something like 20 incompletions in the Florida State game in week 1. And since then, I think he's averaging about 7 incompletions a game. And they're throwing it a lot. It's not like he's going, it's not like he's going 7 for 14 or something like that. I mean, they're throwing it a good bit, and he's throwing it with great success and great comfort. You got to mix it up with him. If you zone him, he'll pick you apart with no pressure. If you blitz him, he'll hit the hot sometimes with no pressure. So you've got to try to keep him guessing a little bit. You got to try to play some mind games with him. That's why Tennessee has to be more locked in defensively than they've been in any game to this point this year.
Brent Hubbs of All Quested on 3 joining us this morning at his weekly time. Brent, when you look at this Tennessee run defense, what's got to happen for them to have their second half run defense in the first half? What adjustments do you think they're making, or is it as simple as just bring that level of focus and attention to detail defensively that you are in the second half to start the game?
Well, I rewatched the game, the Arkansas game, a couple of different times this week, trying to figure out the answer to that question. And I felt like in the first quarter, Tennessee just got blocked.
Right.
I just think they got blocked. Arkansas did some things Tennessee likes to do. They brought the H back in motion and used him as a lead blocker and some stuff like that. But I just thought Tennessee got out of their gaps some, and they just got blocked. Then as the game went along, there were times where they gave up an explosive play, and it was because their defensive end or their linebacker didn't wrap. Somebody didn't set the edge the way that they were supposed to. They went inside. They took an easier path towards the quarterback, and then they had no outside containment there. And then there were a couple of times they were, I think, misaligned. I mean, you go back and look at Green's first touchdown run, Tennessee's out of alignment there on a zone read. I mean, the H-back or the tight end, who's the lead blocker there, was blocking Turrentine basically at the goalpost pad because that's the first person he could get to touch. I mean, it was a walk-in because I think Tennessee misaligned that one. So whether they've got to simplify it, whether it's focus, whatever the case may be, Tennessee has to be better to start this game and better in the first half than they have been. Because you're right, they've been good in the second half. They've cleaned some stuff up in the second half, but whatever adjustments have to be made need to be made quickly in this one on Saturday.
Brent, I almost hate using a question on this because there is a game to preview and this player isn't going to play in it. But with Jermon McCoy ruled out officially for this one, which is no surprise, obviously, for anyone that's read your work or listened to yours, and Austin sits with us about him just not practicing with the team yet. Has the outlook on him playing this year changed? I know it's not really... there's not any truth to the fact that he's just sitting out and waiting for the draft, and maybe there's some other stuff going on. I don't know, Brent, but has your opinion on him playing this year changed at all as we still wait for him to get out there and make an impact on this defense?
Yeah, I mean, my opinion's changed because he hadn't practiced at all with the team. And so until he practices with the team, and I'm not saying it's not a good question. I'm just saying it's not really a discussion point for a lot of fans who want to know, hey, is this the week? Well, until I mean, he's got to go through acclimation period because he hadn't had any contact. He's got to practice, multiple days and things like that. I mean, it's not like he could wake up this morning and go, hey, I feel good, coach. I think I want to go this week. I mean, that's just not how this works. So I think, with each passing week, you look at this and say, I don't know. I don't know that he's going to play. I do think he wants to play. I think what fans get lost in, and I think probably, some of us in the media are responsible for this notion as well. There's a lot of assumption that you have with injuries like this that you base off previous guys. So Zakai Ziegler has a clean ACL break. There's no other issue. There's no meniscus issues. There's no other ligament issues. There's no cartilage. There's nothing going on there. And so his is a clean, as simple as it can be, recovery from an ACL. And obviously he's a guy who heals really quickly and really, I won't say easily because he worked hard, but he didn't have any issues. We don't know the severity of Jermod McCoy's ACL tear. Were there other parts of the knee that had damage? Did he have to have other things done in terms of cleanup as opposed to just a simple ACL fix? And so everybody's recovery time is different because of the degree of the injury or the severity of the injury. And we don't know how severe Jermod McCoy's injury is. I do believe he's trying to get back. I do believe he would like to play. Will he play? At this point, I don't have any idea.
Brent, on the other side, Ricky Gibson, any update on him as he rehabs his week 1 injury?
He stands on the sidelines in a sling. So, I mean, he's not anywhere. I mean, I don't think he's going to play this year. I mean, if they got, if they made a playoff run, could something maybe, but it just doesn't feel like it. I mean, if he's still in the sling, he's not doing any real rehab right now of any note. So I would be surprised if Ricky Gibson suited up this year at any point. I mean, he's definitely not going to in the regular season.
Well, for another guy that came out of the game and just didn't finish it, where's Deshaun Bishop for this upcoming weekend too?
Deshaun is a guy who has lived in the training room this week and has done what he needs to do to get himself in a position to play. And I think that he is going to play and going to go. I saw him walking through the complex on Tuesday, regular shoes. He didn't have a boot on. There wasn't anything like that going on, which is a real positive. He wanted to go and wanted to go back in the game after that injury, which looked really bad, by the way. But he just couldn't push off the way he wanted, didn't have the juice with it, if you will, and the trainers ruled him out. So he's going to give it a go on Saturday, I believe. I think we'll see him suit up. I think we'll see him play. Can he take 15 to 20 carries? I don't know. We'll see. I think that Star Thomas and Peyton Lewis, but particularly Star Thomas, has got to get his game back a little bit, Ramon. You've talked about this on the game broadcast the last couple of weeks. I think Star Thomas is kind of the poster child for your point, and that's a point of impatience. I think Star Thomas has got to let it open up for him and just play a half tick slower at times. I think he's gotten too impatient. That 3rd and 3 run that forced Tennessee to punt when they had a 10-point lead, he bounced that back on a cutback lane that's not even designed there. He's got to go with the flow of the play. If he does, I think there's a real chance he makes a first down. It was a very impatient run. He's got to get his patience back.
It was. Well, let's go outside a little bit then. The wide receiver.
Will, I like that. It was. The offensive lineman has spoken.
I didn't want to pile on to him, Hubs. You saw what I saw. I was upset too, man.
I love it.
You know me, man. I'm like, don't waste my blocks. I'm whipping this dude tail. You need to follow me. Yeah,
absolutely.
Man. On the outside of that, is there much, I say this knocking on wood, much of a threat from the rushing side of what Alabama can give to the Vols offensive front line as far as Alabama's D-line? I'm not sure there's a name that we know of. It felt like when they went there a couple of years ago, they had a couple name guys. As far as Joey being able to have rhythm throwing the football down the field and not just having a sack party.
Well, I mean, Alabama's not giving up a 200-yard passer all season, so they've obviously defended the pass well. Now, you can argue how many great throwing quarterbacks have they played. Fair question, okay? But we'll see if what kind of rhythm Tennessee can get into there. But I do think there's Alabama's given up some yards rushing. when you look at it. I mean, the most puzzling stat that Alabama has, to me, is the Vanderbilt game.
Right.
And I don't know why Vanderbilt stopped running the football or didn't run it any more than what they did. And I didn't watch that game because Tennessee was playing, so I didn't, or because I was doing another thing that was an open date. But I didn't watch that game the way I probably should have. But when you look at what Vanderbilt did in that game, I mean, they rushed for like 138 yards or 140 yards, but they only run it like 19 times. So they had success running the football. You look at what Missouri did last week, that the Tigers rushed for 163. So I think there are some yards to be had in the ground game based on what Alabama's done to this point. So what you want to do is you want to get some balance, Ramon, and get a little play action, pass action going that way. And if you do, then the way Joey's playing it, I think this is the best thrower that Alabama's probably played all year at the quarterback position. Much the same way Ty Simpson is the best thrower, best quarterback from a standpoint of throwing the ball that Tennessee's played all season. Now, the Green kid is a unique unicorn. He's different because of what he can do with his legs, but Simpson throws the ball better than anybody that Tennessee's played to this point.
One thing this Vols defense has done, even though they've given up yards in the run game, especially early on, is they have gotten turnovers. They have gotten scores. They've had big moments to where they get the football back to the offense. Is there a question to be had about Heupel having a sudden change script that's a little bit better? Because, again, you go to fumbles that the Vols defense has gotten for them or turnovers. There hadn't been 7 points. There's been field goals put up as often, but you want to see 7 points. Heupel adjustment to that in these type of games, man. Is that a high expectation for him?
Well, I mean, listen, you're an old offensive guy. I mean, when the defense gives you the ball in a short field, you're supposed to do something.
Yeah.
With it. You're not supposed to just suddenly, hey, we'll kick it back to you. And I think when you look at it this year, I mean, the defense has scored, 3 defensive touchdowns on their own. But then there's been other moments. You go back to the Syracuse game. They got an interception and they turned that into a touchdown to start the second half. But then last week, they got 4 turnovers, because I consider a turnover on downs a turnover. And out of those 4 turnovers, they went 3 and out 3 times and scored a touchdown on a 4-play drive. That first fumble I thought was a real tone setter for the day, Ramon. I mean, they give you the ball in the second possession on their side of the field. Tennessee took 2 deep shots after a run play and punted the football. You got to get points there. You got to get in field goal range. You got to make a first down. I mean, I thought Arkansas was a team that might have a chance to, quit, lay down, roll over, whatever you want to do if you could jump on them. And I thought Tennessee had an opportunity to take an early lead there after getting punched in the mouth on that opening drive, and they didn't take advantage of it. And you knew the longer you let Arkansas hang around, the more nerve-wracking that game was going to get, and that's what happened with Tennessee. It's what 17-17 at the half when Tennessee should have had the lead. If you look at this game and on Saturday, and Will, you asked me to give me a key, and I gave you my single key, but if you look at other keys in this, if Alabama were to make a mistake and turn the football over, which they haven't, they've only done twice this year, but if you were able to force a turnover, you got to take advantage of it. When you get into the red zone, you can't kick field goals in this one. You got to score touchdowns. You go back to 2 years ago when Tennessee was down there in the first quarter. They had first and goal inside the 10 twice on 2 different possessions and kicked 2 field goals out of it. That should be a 21-0 game at the end of the first quarter. And then you got Alabama really reeling, but Tennessee could not take advantage of that. This offense has to do that. When they get those opportunities, they cannot squander them with field goals, or they can't squander them by not taking advantage of a short field and punt the way they did in the Arkansas game.
Brent Hubbs of AllQuest at On 3 joins us Fridays at 7:20 here on the show, part of All Network's coverage of Tennessee and Alabama with Ramon tomorrow night as well. Y'all have fun, enjoy, and please make sure that Ramon gets back to us in one piece, Brent, on Monday.
My whole goal is to not have Ramon Foster put in zip ties late in this game. So
There's
You
a look
know,
of determination on his face now as you say that.
That's the goal for Ramon at this point in
Hey,
time.
look.
Hopefully he's giving the business to somebody in front of him and he's not getting the business in return.
Hey,
because-
listen, I got those metal glasses. We'll get it in first person view, okay? You hear me? All fist and defense, okay? Defensively defending myself is what I will be doing, Hubs. Listen, I'm okay. I told Will, when you bad in college football, I don't care about like piling on. I can't wait to. Never mind, Hubs. That's almost.
He's getting fired up.
Almost got there.
Yeah,
Not gonna go
that's where
there,
we're at this
Hubs.
morning.
I'm not the one playing.
Thank you, Brent. Appreciate you, sir.
All right, guys, have a good one. See ya.
Peace,
You as
Hubs.
well. Brent Hubbs of AllQuest and On 3, presented by Ascend Federal Credit Union, your financial partner for every stage of life. You know, one of the best moments of Coach Mack on Titans radio was after the Titans upset the Ravens and Coach Mack's waving goodbye from like arm's length away to Baltimore fans in 2020.
High tide. You know I'm an active fool.
Coming up, we got a couple minutes to take your phone calls ahead of Stephen Godfrey at 8 o'clock, 615-737-1045. Plus, the only good injury news the Titans have had all week. We can dive into that next.
High tide. Honesty means everything, man, especially when you're buying a vehicle, and that's why I purchased my new Fords from Two Rivers Ford, man. Two Rivers Ford have real deals. And what do I mean by that? Well, at Two Rivers Ford, the best price is clearly marked on a website or window sticker. You don't need to fill out a form with your information to get the best price. You don't need to do anything. And unlike other dealers, Two Rivers Ford never adds accessories or service plans in order for you to get the best deal. At Two Rivers Ford, the best clearly marked price is always available, always accessible, and always real. But if you want extra accessories or warranties, you can request that to purchase. They have them for you. They just don't want to tack them on to price gouge you, okay? And that's because honesty is always a policy at Two Rivers Ford, which is why they're the South's most trusted Ford dealer. So, for the best price and a real deal, get to Two Rivers Ford in Mount Juliet. You can visit them online also at tworiversford.com or call the non-commissioned sales team at toll-free 800-900-1000. Make sure you tell them that Ramon sent you.
I love living in Middle Tennessee. We've got great restaurants, entertainment, sports, and one of the nation's top Ford dealers right here in our backyard. Two Rivers Ford. Remember that name. Two Rivers has been a staple in our community since 1983. They're locally owned. They have a non-commissioned sales team, and they sell below MSRP. They've been doing business with integrity for decades. Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
Ramona Will at 104.5 The Zone, fueled by Scooters Coffee. Stephen Godfrey coming up. We're going to talk some college football with him for the next hour. And I sometimes, if you listen to the show, you know I give a roadmap of where we're about to go. I'm not even going to try with Godfrey because we'll talk Tennessee, Bama, LSU, Vandy from there. Who's to say what else we're going to talk about?
Yeah.
Is to say?
Nobody at this point when he comes into the studio. I look forward to it. I just sit back and we got popcorn. We got popcorn.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, guys.
I got here early.
Yeah, you're here early. Come on. Join us. Let's go.
I got here early.
Let's
do Titans.
My guy.
Let's go. Let's do Titans.
Let's do Titans.
Let's do Titans.
Go.
He has a much different mood.
You should get paid for this type of stuff, guys.
Well, you know, I try. If you're good at something, don't do it for free.
First time is all right. After that,
That's right. Then you're only cheating yourself.
Shame on.
All right, let's do a little Titans. What we got? Let's go.
Tavondre Sweat is going to likely play on Sunday against the New England Patriots. That is where the good injury news ends.
Okay.
For the Titans in this game, the Titans edge rusher room is going to be without second-round pick Oluwafemi Oladejo, who's on IR. Without Arden Key, I imagine, who has not practiced all week with quad injury. Draymond Jones got added to the injury report after picking up a sack last week, picked up a knee injury, apparently, this week. You are looking at Jalen Harrell, 7th-round pick, Ollie Gay, who just came up from the practice squad, and Jihad Ward, who was signed to a one-year deal in the middle of training camp. Those are your 3 edge rushers that are up. Can Tavondre Sweat just carry this defensive front, Ramon, to some semblance of success against the New England Patriots offense?
the issue that they have is they also got weapons on the outside, though, too.
They do.
Like, if you do stop the run with the New England Patriots, okay, well, they'll just go outside. They got bodies. They got a quarterback that's surgical with the football right now, too. And the issue that you're going to have with Tavondre Sweat is how much and how long can he be out there? It's been a month plus for a guy like him.
Who also missed most of training camp with the tonsillectomy.
Yeah.
That was interestingly timed during training camp.
The issue is for a guy like him, they can go outside and attack. And if you're telling me those are the edge rushers that they have available for him, unless he's getting penetration up the front and he got them a long down and distance situation where Jeffrey Simmons not being double teamed, then yeah, I don't see much of a difference until he proves it to me. And this year in his year 2, he hadn't proved it either.
Godfrey, did you hear last night on Thursday Night Football that Arthur Smith is apparently a former head coach of the Tennessee Titans, according to Al
he
Michaels?
is? Yeah. He's a former head coach of the Tennessee Titans? Well, he could be a future former head coach of the Tennessee Titans real fast. That thing about Drake May, not throwing interceptions anymore.
73% completion percentage as a second-year quarterback.
0 interceptions the last 3 games. It's not just beating up on the Saints.
What do you think about that Tavondre Sweat situation then? Does it matter for an interior guy in a game like this against a passer that they have?
No, I think to your point, it's going to be pick your poison. I just think the defense is too thin for the way they're playing right now. The league being all about micro trends, 2 to 3 weeks, kind of rise and fall. Like Patriots look, no one's unbeatable. What I'm saying, they look at their best right now coming off their last 2 games. So.
And you don't want to sound like Debbie about it, Debbie Downer, but like that's what's being presented to him.
I'm gonna sound like a Karen about it because Vrabel is not gonna call him off.
That's the point.
No, he's not. He's gonna be happy to see the security guys, the equipment guys,
no doubt,
the people that were around him every day that you're kind of in the trenches with.
Sure.
And his 10 former players that are still on the roster.
Yeah.
And outside of that,
so. I brought this up in our last hour. I was saying to somebody, it's like, Will asked, what's the method? I was like, you got to slow grind this thing out. I was like, the idea of how you play this game is I'm not going to get embarrassed by 20. And somebody was like, dang, that's where we are in our YouTube chat. And I was like,
yes,
that is where we are.
Yes. Yeah. Have you been watching the football games?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
It's there right now. And I say that with respect to these guys because they're professionals, but I've been up against it. I've been without Le'Veon, and Ben then ends up getting hurt, and you just like, boy, we got to hold on. Like, we just got to hold against the Patriots. Like, we just got to hold on because they're going to pile on any chance they get. And this one is that type of situation. Like, I don't think he has any, any animosity towards the guys on the sideline.
No.
He going to be looking up like
it's
the guy.
The box.
Yeah,
he's way up there.
What's not 300, but Gladiator. Mm-hmm. Are you not entertained?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Is that?
We joke about Arthur Smith.
Okay.
I am curious from your perspective.
I joke about Arthur Smith a lot.
Yeah, I know. That's why I wanted to ask you about Arthur Smith because
what's up? Get ready for Jonnu Smith, baby. He's coming back.
Cordell Patterson. Can he come out of retirement? Arthur Smith is an interesting one because seen as a very, very, very intelligent football offensive mind here with Mike Vrabel.
Yes.
His offenses were very successful in Tennessee. I mean, they were, I'm looking at his numbers from that 2020 season. His last year as the OC, second in total offense, fourth in scoring offense. Ryan Tannehill, A.J. Brown, Derrick Henry, all those things. It didn't work for him in Atlanta in 3 seasons. He went 7-10 3 times. The conversation in the NFL is always interesting about failed head coaches because you don't have the roster building control as college coaches.
Correct.
There is nuance to why did you go, which players were available to you for you to coach, right? How culpable, though, was Arthur Smith in those 7-10 seasons, and how much of it was I was given this quarterback, I had no chance to be great, or I was given this quarterback and did not develop him and put him in the best position to succeed?
Look, this is sports talk radio. You want to be able to say it's all column number 1, it's all column number 2. And by the way, I am a lifelong 44-year Atlanta Falcons fan, which is just like belonging to the worst religion that you could think of, where you get no holidays.
You're loyal, is what
you
you're
just
saying.
beat yourself all the time. It's just the worst. Anyway, but here,
okay?
I watched every one of those Arthur Smith games.
Yeah.
Yes, they drafted Desmond Ridder out of Cincinnati, but according to reports and people I spoke with who worked for the team, he was very excited and encouraged about developing Ridder. He wanted to take Ridder as a 3rd-round pick, spend those top picks elsewhere, and develop him into the system guy. That did not work out. The thing that alarms me, if I'm a Titans fan looking at Smith, is in his time as a head coach, there was an inflexibility about schematic philosophy as things were not working. We talk about this. Obviously, my expertise is in college. All joking aside, I said this somewhere this week on the shows I did. Great head coaches are defined not by their scheme now, but by their flexibility to incorporate and their ability to manage like CEOs. The other thing that bothers me about Smith, if I'm a Titans fan, he was standoffish, almost resentful of the public side of being a head coach.
Like Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, but I'll give Vrabel a little bit more credit. He's a little bit more charming in it.
Sure. Fair.
Like Smith,
Just an Ohio guy.
Smith looked like he was just so resentful of the concept of all the forward-facing things you do as a head coach that he wasn't in there doing ball. And I don't care if you're nice to the media. Like, I'm a big boy, I can handle it. But when you are getting into those blown lead situations, when you're losing 3 in a row, or when you start the season 4-2, 3-1, whatever, and you're collapsing down the stretch, and then that sort of snideness comes out, I'm curious if Arthur has changed his tone.
Interesting.
From my understanding, people that cover him in Pittsburgh on coordinators, which they don't talk a lot.
Yeah.
But he's become a little bit more of a darling.
Well, I'm sure he is in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, he's become a little bit more friendlier with his approach to it. He don't have that same look about him. Like, he's business. Like, he's just notice the people I talk to, he's getting friendly.
Now, I will tell you this. The first thing he's going to do is he's going to stand up there. So let's say he gets this job. He's going to stand up there on that podium on day 1 and say, I'm home. This is where I've always wanted to be. And you should believe that.
He was here for a long time.
Does everyone listening understand what the name Smith means, right? In Memphis?
Absolutely.
Is that Smith, okay?
100%.
He 100% wants to be here. He wants to be here for the long haul. In Cam Ward, he will have a raw talent that is unlike anything he had as a head coach in Atlanta.
No doubt.
Because it was Desmond Ridder and just like semi-warm bodies behind him. They were trying to rotate out.
Taylor Heineke.
You know, they did the Mariota thing for a hot second. Like, that's when Mariota quit in the season because he got benched. Yeah. I mean, it was bad, but he will give Titans fans, I think, a sense of identity and pride on day 1 that they haven't had. I also think that the difference between 7-10 and 10-7 is microscopic in the NFL.
Fair.
Would you be happy with a 10-7 Titans team right now?
Covering it?
Sign me up.
Man, we don't have to talk more about this. Give us 1 second.
Stephen Godfrey in studio, College Football Inquirer, Yahoo Sports. Where is he not? He is everywhere talking college football. And coming
That's where
up
I'm not.
next, yeah, fair. Relatable. Tennessee, Alabama, 3rd Saturday in October. We'll break down a massive Week 8 in college football in the SEC coming up next. What if you could pull up to $500,000 in cash out of your home and drop your mortgage rate to 4.99% APR? Hey, it's Will Bowling. Right now at Loan Pronto, they've got the lowest rates in 3 years. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get your cash in as little as 3 days. Pay off all those high-interest credit cards and even skip your next 2 house payments. One client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. Paid off their debt, paid off 2 car loans, and saved $2,100 a month. One call, life change. There's no wait. No hard credit pull up front. You probably won't need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash for your home's equity. Rates are at a 3-year low, so act now. Call 615-499-5780 or visit loanpronto.com for your free instant home appraisal. See how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto, A+ rated by the BBB and nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call 615-499-5780 and see how much cash you can get today. LoanPronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. On approved credit, visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
It's Ramon Foster for Jewel Roofing and Exteriors, man. Let me tell you about my friends over there, and I say that because that's what they are, man. I know the owner personally, man, Robbie Van Norm, super solid guy, man. Lives here in Middle Tennessee. He's a Tennessean in general. Just super cool, super way to run a business, man. And they do that by building relationships and earning trust through referrals. Never through those high-pressure tactics of door knocking and storm chasing. You know exactly what it is in Middle Tennessee. Soon as a big storm comes through, there's somebody knocking on your door trying to give you to file a insurance claim to get a new roof. Well, you don't have to worry about that with Jewel Roofing, man, because here's what they believe in. Either you use them now or you'll use them later. But they want to build a trust with you that you'll know exactly when you need them, man. They've been servicing Middle Tennessee from Clarksville to Murfreesboro for over 25 years. And they're just simply good at what they do. For a local company that is licensed here in Nashville and like to build up Tennessee in general and have flexible financing option, go check out my friends at Jewel Roofing and Exteriors. You can call them at 615-868-9999 or visit their website at jewelroofing.com. That's Jewel Roofing with 2 L's.com.
You've heard me talk about my new obsession here on the show, Daisy French onion dip. It's watch party season. It's tailgate season. It's eating and parking lot season this time of year. And when you bring Daisy French onion dip to the party, your friends are going to think you made a homemade dip. Real herbs and spices, plus other ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen. A delicious Daisy French onion dip and Daisy Ranch dip. I'm telling you guys, each of these, game changers. Check it out. You can find it at a grocery store near you.
8:04, good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. A wild one on Thursday Night Football last night as the Cincinnati Bengals beat the Pittsburgh Steelers 33-31 with Bengals quarterback Joe Flacco throwing for 342 yards and 3 touchdowns. Wide receiver Jamar Chase with a franchise record 16 receptions, while also compiling 161 yards and a touchdown. Evan McPherson on his 4th field goal of the night won the game for the Bengals on a 36-yarder with 7 seconds left in the game. In the MLB last night in the NLCS, the Dodgers are now one game out of making the World Series as they beat the Brewers 3-1. Game 4 tonight on TBS at 7:38. And then in the ACL, the Toronto Blue Jays tied the series up at 2-2 with the Seattle Mariners after an 8-4 win last night. Game 5 tonight at 5:08 on FS1. Coming up this weekend, former Titans head coach Mike Vrabel and the 4-2 New England Patriots come to town as interim head coach Mike McCoy leads the Titans at Nissan Stadium in his first game since taking over. Lee Company countdown to kickoff starts at 9 a.m. on 104.5 The Zone. Before Titans countdown and Titans radio takes over at 11. Then Taylor Zarzer, Dave McGinnis with the call for Titans and Patriots at 12. And then tomorrow, it's the third Saturday in October as the number 11 Tennessee Vols take on Alabama Crimson Tide under the lights in Tuscaloosa with kickoff at 6:30. Mike Keith, Ramon Foster on the call for Vol Network with coverage beginning at 4 o'clock on The Zone. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Second half of the show and hour number 3 getting started on Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooter's Coffee, talking college football for the next 60 minutes. Vol Network analyst and 11-year NFL veteran Ramon Foster. Justin Hawkins is our producer. I'm Will Bowling. Stephen Godfrey's in studio talking college football with us. I always step way further away from ledges anytime he's in here. But I feel like I'm not really close to a ledge on this one, Godfrey, today. I feel like
I'm in things that have gone on since I've been on the air. How do you want to do the emotional situation check on our Vol feelings first?
Let's start here because we led the show with this in the first hour.
Mm-hmm.
You guys talked about it on College Football Inquirer this week. Rate, review, subscribe. Yahoo Sports.
Thank
great
you.
show. Great
Phantom
stuff.
Island show. That one's directly. I own that one.
That one as well?
Directly on that one. Yeah.
I
got three kids. Where's camera? Hard camera.
Mike Keith said
3 kids, baby.
Well, Mike Keith about
he
us
said,
like,
please subscribe to the Tennessee Athletics YouTube channel. It helps my family, is what Mike Keith told us.
Yeah. I got 3. All right. Had a lot of them.
I love it.
Rate, review, subscribe.
Yeah. PhantomIsland.show.
We've got to rewire our brains about any given Saturday the way we have about NFL Sundays.
Yes.
Anybody in the Southeastern Conference can get beat on any given Saturday in their building, in a neutral building, in someone else's building. A, because Nick Saban's not on the other sideline from a Bama perspective. And
He ain't
B,
cheating no more. He ain't around to cheat.
because
Thank you for saying that.
so a few less Dodge Chargers that are driving around. I'm probably not. They probably still do that.
Always not.
And just the fact that no one is immune from their C-plus game getting them
Yes.
beat. There's no better example of that than Alabama against Florida State. Where do you begin to evaluate this matchup and the way Tennessee matches up with Bama, who all of a sudden has I know it's halfway through the season, but a legitimate Heisman contender in Ty Simpson?
He's a real thing.
Yeah.
Since I've been in here last, I've watched Alabama get a little bit more competent week by week. My colleague, Andy Staples, made a really good point. Of course, they're going to get up for Georgia. When you have an emotionally unstable team, new coach, it's not the Saban culture anymore. Like, that didn't shock me because I think Georgia is a very good but often mediocre on-field product, at least relative to back-to-back national championships.
Right.
So Bama beating Georgia is not the Bama you were supposed to worry about. It was the Bama after that. That's what we said. All right. You looked good. You're coming out of this. I'm going to pull the schedule up real fast. Mm-hmm. All right. You beat Georgia, 3 points on the road, signature win. Yep. You've got your flag to plant. How do you handle yourself over the next 2 weeks? Because that's the problem now. And Alabama is pretty much like everyone else to some degree. They did exactly what they were supposed to 2 weeks in a row. That's it. Vanderbilt, I watched that whole game. There's a lot of things I really, really liked about what they did. I thought defensively, they took a huge step forward. It's basically the best that Pavia has been schemed against in his Vanderbilt career. Missouri,
Fair.
I think Missouri's a really good team. I think Missouri suffers from this identity crisis in the SEC where we don't treat them like an SEC caliber team. We never have.
It's weird.
Drink is up
Probably
for a
never will.
lot of jobs. Like Drink is hot right now, okay?
He's picking up the phone, too.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
That's not a knock on Missouri, but I'm talking about who's calling. Like,
Looking at what's in there they got, yeah. I
With
pick
the
up phone,
coaching
too.
carousel we're about to get this offseason, you're absolutely picking up the phone with some of these
y'all
jobs.
better get ready to live with Indiana.
Sitting coaches are going to move.
There are poaches coming, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Drinkwitz would love Lincoln when Matt Rule goes to Penn State, which I'm
That's
still
not the direction we're going to go, but all right. Okay. That's interesting. So for Alabama, did what they needed to do specifically. Some questions about their defense against Heupel, but I still like Ty Simpson in this game. I still like Alabama to probably win by a score. I still like Tennessee to have a game that if they lose, it will look similar to the Georgia loss.
Yeah.
Still highly functional, still competent. Like what's the promo I heard this morning where Slay comes in and talks about like all of that is still Tennessee.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Not dominant, very good, still that tier below. Like you're going to have one team kind of climb over all the other bodies and win the conference championship. And then you're going to have a tier right below that. And Tennessee is in that tier.
Massive humanity. Yeah.
Yeah.
And considering where Tennessee was when we were talking in the middle of August,
Yes.
that is again, like to the point, we got to bring up the point that you made with us right before the season started. We can't have a referendum on this staff
No.
and on this program and on this team if Tennessee goes to Tuscaloosa tomorrow and loses by 2 touchdowns. Like the health of this program and the fact that Josh Heupel has got Tennessee in a position where they could go to Tuscaloosa and win with a quarterback that was wearing "Hi, nice to meet you, I'm Joey" name tags in probably July is a success in and of itself.
So you have all these ranked teams in the top 25 right now in the SEC, and they all have at least one loss or zero. So we still have a giant log jam, which we're going to start to sort out.
Yep.
Of these teams, Tennessee and Vanderbilt are the most shocking based off of where we were this summer.
Agreed.
Missouri was the sleeper. Ole Miss, to some degree, having not lost yet, is very interesting. But I was in Oxford last weekend and saw that game against Wazoo. The idea that they don't have flaws is flawed. They are just as susceptible as any of these other teams. I really like A&M, but I also really liked A&M in July. The two teams in this state are the most surprising to be in the halves right now.
Agreed.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the best pathway to beat Alabama as far as like, is it more dangerous to have a high power offense, or do you do what Florida State did and say the defenses get to it? Because defenses have gotten to them, but Ty Simpson and the Alabama team have proven, okay, well, they're almost bulletproof at this point.
I think what scares me is that the path that I see as an amateur, not a professional, not a coach, not an ex-player, I don't know if it's in Tennessee's toolbox. Because the way that Florida State won the game, I think it's more about Castellanos grinding and running and confusing that defense. It's hard to take that Florida State game as like a template because it was week 1 and it was very, very much preseason football, right? There's not a lot of tape on what Gus was going to bring in with that offense. Castellanos was new coming from Boston College. Simpson was not a known entity. I think he was very much in development. They didn't really know what they had. Grubb came in from Washington. That was the sort of brain trust with DeBoer, with Grubb, with I forget the other guy's name that was the QB's coach. That was
Sheridan?
Sheridan. Yeah,
Nick Sheridan.
Yeah,
Yep.
Sheridan, who was at Tennessee for a while. His dad was a DC for the Tampa Bay Bucks. Stupid coach knowledge I have. That was the brain trust that made like the Penix move possible from Indiana to Washington. It really kind of came into their stride after that game. I'm not saying it's excusable if you're an Alabama fan. Obviously, you don't want to start the season that way, but that's the most corrected mistake of week 1 amongst the notable schools. We do this every year. We have one team that looks bad who figures it out, and then we have one game in week 1 that we think is going to be major and impactful, and it means nothing by Halloween, and that's LSU Clemson, right? To think about LSU Clemson now, I think Vandy's going to win that game. I mean, right now, yeah. Really? Yeah.
Let's talk about that after the break because it is so...
I wish y'all... Everybody needs to watch on video because the looks I'm getting right now,
No,
incredulous.
I agree. I'm with you.
Like, I know they have it, but to actually see it...
I think, too, it is wild we live in a world where Vanderbilt has a more identifiable identity Like, I know who Vanderbilt is as a football
Yeah,
team.
trench.
I still don't really know what LSU is, especially on offense.
Vandy's nasty in the trenches. That's it. We can talk about it after the next segment. But yeah.
Let's do it.
They're gonna
LSU
beat you
Vandy, you just saw Ole Miss in person. We'll break down Georgia Ole Miss. We will get to the coaching carousel. There is a coach that's not named Jerry Neuheisel that might get hired at UCLA, who's on staff as well, because we forget that Tim Skipper is the interim at UCLA. But we'll dive into all that stuff. Coaching carousel that's going to be insane. And we'll start with LSU Vandy coming up after this.
You know Genesis Diamonds has the most amazing selection of hand-picked diamonds at unbelievable prices, but did you also know that Genesis has the best selection of pristine, hand-picked, luxury pre-owned Rolex watches? It's happening October 24th and 25th. An incredible display of Rolex watches at killer prices. Submariners, Daytonas, Pepsis, Batmans, including the new never-ever-worn fresh models that people wait years for during this event. Well, you can take advantage of this special pricing and up to 60 months zero-interest financing. And listen to this, with the purchase of any luxury pre-owned Rolex at this event, Genesis will give you a pair of 4-carat lab-grown diamond stud earrings of the highest quality, absolutely free. And if you already are a Rolex owner, bring your old Rolex to trade, or Genesis buyers will be on site to offer you the top dollar for your Rolex. Come and see the largest selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches in the state and take advantage of the special financing, or get a pair of beautiful 4-carat lab-grown diamond set earrings valued at $5,000, absolutely free. It's October 24th and 25th, only at Genesis Diamonds, your home for luxury pre-owned Rolex watches. They're located in Green Hills and Cool Springs. See store for details while supplies last.
Ramona Will at 104.5 The Zone, fueled by Scooters Coffee with Stephen Godfrey in studio, talking college football for the 8 a.m. hour. Tate Matthews coming up. Talk a little high school ball. Ron Slay will be here. I'm sure he will raise the energy levels, as he always does. You can raise your energy level by going to Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet Scooters Coffee. Good day to have a pumpkin brew. Pumpkin caramel together. I never knew it worked until I went to Scooters. It definitely works. And so you need that in your life this morning. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. LSU will play Vanderbilt tomorrow. Get-in price well over $100.
Yo, it's expensive.
I got a buddy coming in town who texted me, we're going to NSC, Enter Miami, because Lionel Messi will also be in town tomorrow.
One of my kids is going to that. Yeah,
Yep.
He's pretty pumped.
Another hard ticket to get. And so going to be a fun one. And he's like, I was going to try to talk you into just getting a cheap ticket and going to LSU Vandy just to like have football to watch.
Yeah.
It's like $150.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's expensive now. But that's not just for LSU. It's that Vandy has raised the floor on ticket prices. I say this like speaking from experience because I've got LSU in-laws who are in town for this game. And, it used to be they wouldn't even worry about the tickets until the morning of. You just walk up, get $15, $10 scalp. No, they had to StubHub is pushing some serious ones if you want an actual good seat close to the sidelines. This is good, by the way. We're I know we always do this as a joke or whatever. This is good for Vanderbilt. Yeah.
I mean, it's back to where the cheapest way to get into a Vanderbilt game, if your team is playing, is buy season tickets. Cash in on the rest of the season and then keep the ones that you want to go see.
May or may not know some people who are not Vanderbilt alumni who live nearby who do exactly that.
Allegedly.
Very common thing to do. People done that for basketball.
You sell your Bama tickets and you get your plus for the whole investment.
Wow.
You're not that far removed from, on a Tuesday night in Nashville, pre-Preds, pre-Titans even.
Yo,
going to a game of Memorial was the thing you did if you wanted to go watch live sports.
I lived in Ackland Park of West End years ago. And my wife and I, it was my girlfriend at the time, we were leaving the bars. This is before you have children. You have the energy to do these things. We were like, oh, Vandy's playing. And it was Tebow. And we just walked in.
Yeah.
Just like
you just walked in.
That's nuts.
To see where they've come, and I know it's only been 2 years in the football sense of this.
Right.
But it is amazing that they're finally doing. I feel like every time I get on here, I try and soapbox a little bit about Vandy needs to catch up. They are. So gold star, great job sticker.
That's because logistically it increases the value of your home.
Damn right.
That too.
I'm not even kidding. I say this every day. Look, man, I still live. I don't want to dox myself. I still live very close to Vanderbilt. I want them doors to be good. I want the Titans to be good. My taxes are going to be paying for that stadium.
That's true.
Y'all get good.
That's true.
Yeah.
It is the first time that Vanderbilt has been favored against a ranked opponent since 1978. They have played 176 straight games against ranked opponents as an underdog.
So that never happened under Franklin?
Nope. Which again, is the
that
theme
would make
of
sense, yeah, because those were all upsets. The 1 year where he popped it was Petrino's Arkansas, maybe Florida,
Muschamps,
Georgia,
Florida?
yeah. It was all bad situations ending or something. Maybe it wasn't Petrino, but it was you're right. There were always upsets.
Yep.
My favorite day as a sports writer when I was doing a game every week, grinding that kind of deal, and not because of the outcome, just because of the amount of not Malzahn, when Gene Chizik was head coach at Auburn and Vandy beat them the year after they won the national title, I stood at that other side, that portal, the exit way by the parking garages where all the visiting fans were. Yeah. And I just said, hey, can I talk to you real fast? Hey, can I talk to you real fast? As Auburn fans were leaving during that game, it was the most fun I've ever had as a sports writer. Because to be a national championship winner and then the incredulity of those Auburn fans coming down the tunnel is the best time I've ever had. That is not happening anymore because if LSU loses, it will be devastating, but not because of the Vanderbilt of the situation.
Right.
And that alone, stop and absorb that if you're a Vanderbilt fan. It is not a humiliation anymore because not just the Bama win last year, it's the way they're playing games that they don't win. Dude, it's the Alabama game this year.
Mm-hmm. It is.
I agree.
You're 2 red zone turnovers away from that getting really tight late.
Bama analysts and reporters were no, keep in mind, this is the team they lost to last year.
Yeah, right.
Which was a fluke, shouldn't have happened, whatever. And then this year, after beating them at home, the Bama sentiment was wow. Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Wow.
They confirmed that they were properly ranked and put where they are supposed to be. The AP doesn't care because half of them don't watch the games, which is a separate conversation. But they proved that they are what we thought they were. They're a really good SEC team that has a 9 or 10 win ceiling that on any given day can beat anyone in this conference. So
watch their trench work tomorrow.
100%.
Also, the kid zero, Cheryl.
Yeah.
The tight end. Legit.
Stowers or Cheryl?
Cheryl. The kid, I think he's number 0. Yeah, from he's from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Junior Cheryl.
Junior Cheryl. Yeah. Legit.
Yes.
Like pro guys are talking about him.
Wow.
I mean, but we knew that though coming into it. Between he and the tight end, like they
Eli
have
Stowers,
weapons.
yeah.
Eli Stowers, and they went and got an older offensive line and defensive line.
The thing that is interesting to watch tomorrow, I really like Blake Baker. I really like the year 2, now that the personnel's fit correctly for LSU, to do what they want to do. It is a recipe for disaster against Diego to try and do like sudden delayed blitz rush and all that kind of stuff. Alabama, and I'm kind of speaking generically here, sort of created a pincer. It was almost like the way Tampa used to play cover 2, like against like Vic and stuff.
Fell out, yeah.
But you would you would basically frame around the scramble to where you would keep him contained and usually force him into a bad throwing decision.
Right.
That's kind of what Bama did, which I was actually really impressed by Kane Womack's scheme. If they do that kind of open coming in, like they do a lot of delayed blitzing at LSU where it's not one particular gap, but they try. There's so much space they leave open when they do that. I think that would be a recipe for disaster against Diego. I'd be really interested to see how they try to confuse him tomorrow because Bama mostly stayed home and got pressure up front and kind of kept him contained, forced him into reading secondaries, a lot of disguised looks in the secondary. That's not where LSU excels on defense.
Right.
And then on the other side, it's like you can't run the ball. You want to beat Pavia, you want to beat Vanderbilt, you got to outgrind them. They're kind of turning into Iowa, where like the best way to beat Iowa is that you get down in the dirt and you like look at that Indiana game a couple weeks ago. They won like 20-15. That's how you survive against Iowa, is you play their style and then you're just a little bit more athletic. There's not a lot I love about what's going on at LSU on the field. And I've said this out loud and they've said it. It's not like a state secret, but I think Nuss is hurt. I think he's more hurt than they've let on. I think it's affected his throws because we're talking about the trunk. We're talking about the oblique, right?
Yeah.
Like the torque of it.
Yep.
He made some poor decisions against Ole Miss, but also I think the ball was not getting there the right way. And what I mean by that is like the ball was not getting there with the same sort of speed and precision where you are able to sort of lace through a double coverage or you're able to go over top a zone.
That's just neglect by Brian Kelly.
Well, who's the backup?
The backup is
my favorite trivia question.
It's the old Vandy quarterback.
That's the problem is that right now, look at the situation where we talk about you're going to spend 1 or 2 losses in the SEC right now, right? You have to be able to platoon quarterbacks.
Mississippi State, sorry, Michael Van Buren.
Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. It is the kid from State.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Last year it was the old Vandy quarterback.
What happened at Ole Miss? Austin Simmons, incumbent, ready to go, starter, right, all through summer. He's absolutely going to replace Jackson Dart. High ankle, probably more severe than they let on. They bring in a D2 transfer that they evaluated and they paid. And that kid they recruited the hell out of because they thought that kid's not going to come in and back up anywhere. He wants to go to the next level and start.
Right.
But they recruited him so aggressively. They paid him an NIL and they stashed him. Okay, and now they're undefeated in the SEC, right? Yes. LSU, it's a monumental error if Nuss continues to limp along through this season and that offense can't get going.
Real quick, who's more flagrant as a head coach? Well, used to be head coach, James Franklin and Drew Aller, or Brian Kelly and Nussmeier?
I think you got to say Penn State right now.
Okay. Because they begged him to come back for this year when he would have been a first-round pick last year.
I don't have context for what happened in Penn State.
Okay.
I heard you talk about that on the show this week, and College Football Inquirer, rate, review, subscribe, that this is unprecedented. Truly.
Yo, they paid Aller. They paid a whole new receiving room to come in because
from Syracuse,
old boy from it's the Colts tight end, Tyler Warren.
Yeah,
right. So he was the safety valve, kind of in a Brock Bowers situation too for that offense. Like where it's one of the reasons Georgia's not that good right now is that the tight ends are coming along, but they don't have that check down say ask Corso button on your NCAA game, right? They paid, I think it was 4 defensive guys not to go in
TDS, still around?
So you paid to get him in, you paid to keep him in, you paid your quarterback, you revamped your receiving room. Oh, by the way, you went and paid Jim Knowles basically a head coaching contract to come in because Tom Allen was the problem, allegedly, which he wasn't. This was always a knock against Franklin, was like, if you weren't one of his boys, man, he would cycle through you on that coaching staff. So there was, for the first time in the portal era, and the NIL, Rev, whatever you want to call it, zero excuses. There was some criticism against Aller in like the prep evaluation recruiting world that he was not going to be like the same way there's been criticism that we've seen realized against Cade Klubnik. Some of these guys that come out with 5-star on their forehead just don't have that top-end development. That happens. Right. Because we crank out too many 5-stars probably in college.
Just ceiling. Like, that's that's it.
Absolutely.
What they could become.
But we do not have context for what has happened at Penn State. This is a total system failure, the likes of which we have not ever seen. All that being said, James Franklin probably will be a head coach somewhere next season.
No, I'm taking.
I was curious if he was going to go do because he'd be great on television. If he was going to, he's doing an exclusive interview with College Game Day this Saturday.
Oh God!
Did he really? Yeah. He has that.
He got that Jimmy Sexton special.
Him and a bunch of country music stars will be.
That's right.
Is Jelly Roll a Georgia fan?
No.
Is he from here?
Yes.
He is. He was actually in Knoxville for the.
He was.
I think
with
Arkansas
the chancellor.
Game. Yeah,
there's a whole smattering
of.
There's like a whole crew of fake Georgia fans. I can say this, and I don't care who I make mad in Nashville. There's a whole crew of fake Georgia fans in country music. None of them have degrees.
No.
None of them close, like sidewalk alumni, or they graduated from Georgia Southern, which is the team I grew up cheering for, which is why I put them on blast. So it's a bunch of fake dogs, just fake country music, fake dogs. You know who I'm talking about.
I saw somebody tweet out, this is probably going to end up being a problem for College Game Day anyway, because when they started having celebrity guest picker not associated with the universities, that just lets you know they're going more of the entertainment and the school side of it.
And record companies
it's about the rating.
Yeah.
More than how many Georgia Bulldogs can they go through on Celebrity Picker?
Well, you go to the same schools every week.
Yeah.
Also,
why does it always have to be a terrible country artist though? There's a lot of Georgia fans that I don't know, maybe work at a different genre of music in that capital city over by the way.
Right. Give me Snoop Dogg.
How about anybody from Dungeon Family?
I was going to, oh my God, give me 3 stacks. Oh, Big Boy would be amazing.
Dude, Clips is on tour right now. How come they haven't found a way to put Pusha T on game day?
Oh my God.
I mean, if Bill Belichick can get Ludacris, then what can ESPN get?
You know, Godfrey.
But instead, we got to trot out old Jason Aldean for the 400th time. I used to be related to him through marriage.
Oh, really?
We're both from Macon, but it was
that's where my
multiple divorces.
Yeah. Shout out Macon.
Really?
Yeah. What I'm saying is, don't get me started on game days. Game day is a shell of its former self.
That's a soapbox.
It is the worst form of pro wrestling.
Well, let's talk about Georgia Ole Miss then, because this is not a typical Kirby Smart defense. It's not been a typical Kirby Smart offensive line since Matt Luke and Sam Pittman haven't been coaching the offensive line there. And the right side of their line, they can't just stockpile 5-stars that are redshirt sophomores when they're first-year starters.
Correct.
They now, like the rest of us that are mortal programs, have to start true freshmen, and they look like it on the offensive line. Can Ole Miss take advantage of Georgia's lack of pass rush? Which, what a statement. Like, Georgia can't affect the passer. Can Ole Miss do enough to take advantage of that with Trinidad Chambliss, or is he going to continue the, quote, Division II stuff that Lane Kiffin said he was doing last week?
He was. I was at that game because I went and spoke at the journalism school in Oxford, and I stayed because a buddy of mine flew in as a Wazoo. One of my old editors went to Wazoo. So I was like, all right, show him around, do that thing. I hadn't been in the Grove in 12 years or something like that. It's
hyped up or real?
It's just as nonsense as usual. folks going into business for themselves, not wearing team colors, being late to the game like Dodger fans. This Ole Miss ain't ever going to change. At least off the field. They've changed on the field.
I got roasted when I said that. And
well, that's because hey, buddy, I got a degree. I'll go in on them for the rest of the segment if you want me to. I'm pulling up stats. There's I always ask people who are smarter than me, which is something I advise sports writers to do in general. But
fair.
Parker Fleming, Stats War on Twitter. He's an advanced analyst.
Follow.
I was asking him about this. Ole Miss is a huge yards after catch team. They're 8th in the nation. Georgia's 100th in the nation defending it. There's a couple key things here where I won't go through all these stats on the air, but bottom line is this. Ole Miss likes to run their quarterback. Georgia struggled to defend the quarterback. Let's talk about that side of the ball for a second from the Georgia perspective. Georgia's a very good defense. The problem is if you are a Georgia fan hearing that, what you know I'm saying is that Georgia is no longer the national championship boa constrictor defense.
Yeah.
All right? Now, what they are still good at is second half adjustment, maybe the best in the nation. There's a junk time TD with Austin Peay. There's a junk time TD with Marshall. It's only the Tennessee game where an offense can still maintain its quality drive stats on scoring against Georgia's defense. Now, granted, how do I say this on the radio and not get y'all fined? Auburn's offense right now couldn't find its personal items with a flashlight. That's probably the best I could do with that. I'm sorry. So it's like that's a little skewed to compare. Like Auburn is padding that stat.
They can't throw over the middle or beyond 5. Yeah, they got.
It's very so. Georgia's slow out of the gate, and I'll talk about the offense in a second.
Right.
But defensively, they like to take that first punch from you. Really, like that Auburn game is a good example because the scripted drive looked fantastic. Right. You're like, oh, Jackson Arnold,
always
Heisman. 5 seconds. Then they absorb that. They're able to adjust. They are not national title caliber, but they do kind of lock in on you. The problem is the other side of the ball. I have said this till I was blue in the face. I get yelled at by Georgia fans every time I do a show anywhere because Todd Monken was the outlier. That scheme was the outlier. Kirby will not evolve on offense. I know Gunnar Stockton made the throws against y'all. He straight up made the throws. There's one in my head where it's down the right sideline where I was like, oh, God, that's better than I've seen him do anything.
Hasn't done it since.
But by and large, schematically, that is not a national title caliber offense. The excuse was made that it was Beck's injury last year. I don't buy that at all because you go back and look at that Sugar Bowl, Notre Dame lived in the backfield. 2 yards of push into the backfield every down.
And now look at Beck with receivers who can catch the ball at Miami. And with the better offensive
how Miami a bro that I knew he was a bro and I knew culturally he was not loved in that locker room in Athens, but man, he has found his place in Miami.
Yes.
That dude was made for Miami.
No doubt.
They didn't like him in Georgia?
They didn't
in the locker room?
There wasn't a lot of counter when that came up.
There wasn't a lot of uproar when he left.
No.
It was just it's like what would have happened if Jalen Milroe had decided to continue being a college quarterback.
Okay, that makes sense.
Honestly.
Yeah, similar, sure. I think Georgia can win this game. I think it's because they forced turnovers early, and I think because Chambliss made some bad decisions last week against Washington State, the kid is over his skis, no doubt, but it's just been in a positive way.
Right.
This is going to come down to, this is why this is an interesting game. Kirby's still Kirby on defense. They still adapt, absorb, and process information, then deliver it back out to their very, very good players in real time the way no one else can. Lane Kiffin is still a savant in offensive play calling. One of these things will break probably in the third quarter. I think the team with the lead at half wins the game.
Okay.
But I am fascinated to see those first couple drives, and then we kind of survived the first half, and then those first 2 drives from each team in the second half because there's going to be a tremendous amount of chess going on. These are not exceptionally amazing national title caliber teams right now. They might be the 2 best or the 2 hottest in the league at the moment. I know Georgia has a loss.
Sure.
But they're turning into the team Kirby wants them to be. If that's 2012 Alabama without as many 5 stars, you will not win a national title that way.
It's true.
Ohio State will expose you.
Miami would expose you.
I think Texas A&M could expose you. Miami would expose you. I mean, we can go down the list and talk about it. By the way, don't sleep on Texas Tech.
I know
you guys talked about that on the podcast this week too, and
the numbers they're turning in, y'all.
That experiment has worked for Cody Campbell.
Yeah, when you pay the front 7, and I understand everybody's going to start barking in the comments. Oh, it's a Big 12, it's not the SEC. I get all that. Okay, I understand.
Different profile of team.
Adjust it. It's still nasty. What they're doing in the front 7 translates, man. You get to the passer. I don't care what the logo on your shirt is. If they could do that in the first, second round of the playoff, they're probably going to come in with a bye. I think they'll probably start in the second round.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nobody in the Big 12 is going to catch them.
No. I mean, the BYU game is looming, but
I want to.
It's the only because it's just the only hard game on their schedule.
The Holy War winner this weekend will be the team they play in Dallas.
Yeah.
Neither one of those teams, and we already saw Texas Tech win in Salt Lake, so I don't think either one of those teams will catch them. I don't even think it's close.
Stephen Godfrey in studio with us. Let's talk Penn State. And who are the candidates Jimmy Sexton's trying to get paid, and who are the candidates? Coming up next.
Prince's Hot Chicken, the original hot chicken. They know a thing or two about hot, so they are bringing you the hottest moments of the week from Ramon and Will. Justin Hawkins here. This is a segment I like to call Prince's Hot Mic.
One first rounder and a second will do it for Tomlin.
No. I'll play that hypothetical. No. Next question. No is my answer.
Okay.
Someone else is going to pop in the FN and Bank chat and said, Will's being mean. No. No, but like again, the Titans need draft. You need to leave. The Titans need draft capital. They cannot afford to trade a high first round pick for a head coach. There are enough good candidates out there to where they don't need to do that.
Mayor Ron said we're following the Mike trend, the name trend.
Will's being mean. Y'all go listen to a major markets post talk and tell me I'm mean.
Hot mics and hot chicken. Prince's knows hot. Prince's Hot Chicken, the original hot chicken.
Ramona Willow, 104.5 The Zone, fueled by Scooters Coffee. Tate Matthews coming up in 10 minutes. Ron Slay in another half hour. Much more still to come on a fast-moving Friday. Let's go rapid fire coaching carousel with Stephen Godfrey in studio.
I like that fabulous intro, too. Shout out to Elder Millennials
What
and Gen
an
Xers.
album,
Let's
though,
go.
man.
Outstanding.
Goodness, he had a run.
Been a minute, 20 years.
Yeah.
Godfrey knows ball.
That was my early years in UT right there. I was playing the heck out of Fabulous. F-A-B-O-L-O.
Played the heck out of a right tackle back
put
then,
clips
too.
on game day. That's the theme of today,
should
right?
be.
Put
I'm
clips on game day.
100%
Let's
with you
go.
on that one.
Absolutely.
Can't play any King Push on the radio, though.
Yes.
I'd love to.
So Matt Rule is not going to go to Penn State? Question mark. Who's the real candidate at Penn
Ron
State and
Burgundy
who's
back.
not? Yes,
Ron, bro.
very much so.
If you are Penn State right now, what you should be doing is getting it out there that you're going to talk to Marcus Freeman, who's not going to go. Who's not going to go.
That was my first one. I was like, they're going to go for Marcus.
But, well, you need to cast as wide a net as possible publicly.
Yeah.
Okay. So who's after Marcus that you think is unmovable? And you throw me a name, Will. It doesn't matter.
Kurt Signetti, obviously, he's just became the third highest paid coach in college football yesterday.
So Sig was going to be the next guy until yesterday.
Right.
It makes
After that, we're talking
A&M coach.
Yeah,
Elko.
That's a good one too
Yep.
because Elko's a Jersey guy.
That's true.
Yeah, Elko would be great. So if you're listening to this, what I'm doing is I'm not telling you that Elko or Marcus Freeman or any of those guys are going. What you want to do is make this look like you are comprehensive, you are authoritative, and that you, as you representing the brand of Penn State, fear no man. Yeah. We're going to go in and we're going to test the market because the most notable cycle is the 21 cycle where the 6 schools have the poaches. So it's Oregon to Miami, Notre Dame to LSU, and then Oklahoma to USC, right? That kind of set a template for, I have this belief, and I'm going to condense this down because you did say rapid fire. Everybody in the world would hire Dan Lanning, okay, if they could.
No doubt.
But if you couldn't hire Dan Lanning, you couldn't hire Nick Saban, you hired his assistants, right? That's what we did in the previous era. We have not yet developed a tree that suits the needs for these new era programs or programs in the new era. We're all new era programs now. So in the interim, until we start developing 5-6 Dan Lannings or 5-6 Marcus Freemans, what we do is we poach. So that's why I think Penn State will try and snatch someone. If anybody says, I need to say this as a PSA. Anybody who's like, "Hey, it's already a done deal with Matt Rule, man," you don't know what you're talking about. That's not how the industry works. I talk to the people who do this. Okay, that is not how this thing happens. Is he a candidate? Sure, absolutely. If you're Nebraska, is there a chance he leaves? Yes. This idea that it's done is nonsense. We go through this every year.
Right.
By the way, your pastor's friends, Barber's cousin on the boat, and them who knows the banker who gives money to school
on the VolQuest message boards.
He don't know nothing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Florida. A&M fired Jimbo after a win.
Yeah.
Over Mississippi State, I believe.
Yes.
Is Florida going to do the same thing after this weekend?
It may be a ghost firing. So Ed Orgeron was actually fired for a week and it didn't get out publicly, and then he beat Florida. You remember that at LSU? So it may or may not be a ghost firing in that it's already been done, and we're worried about a little roster retention right now.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
The one to watch out for this weekend is Wisconsin. They go into a bye after Ohio State.
There you go.
We could have a very big weekend this weekend.
It's not even like the
Fickle
last
failing
3
there is one of the biggest
games.
surprises too. Like that felt very just high floor. This is going to work at least for 9-3 in a Rose Bowl every 5 years.
I stopped doing this where I don't give grades and I try not to stump for guys anymore. And it's cost me a little bit in my career because I'm not doing the off-season rah-rah stuff to then get in with the access, but I don't need it. The last time I really kind of came out and planted a flag and said A+ higher was Luke Fickell to Wisconsin. And I wasn't alone. A lot of people did that in the industry.
Made so much sense.
And on paper, it looked so smart. And it really is a failure of personnel, a failure of assistant coach hires. Him hiring Phil Longo was just inexplicable at the time. They never really recovered on offense. And then also they're just completely, it's not that they're ill-equipped, they're just not equipped for the personnel era. So portal, NIL, Rev, all that stuff.
So Satterfield leaves Cincinnati. He's going back to Cincinnati.
Who's going to Penn State?
Drinkwitz.
You know what?
Not the worst idea.
You must be psychic right now because if I theoretically were to represent Eli Drinkwitz, and theoretically the job that Eli Drinkwitz might theoretically want is talked about maybe in this segment but not technically open, In the interim, I would definitely make sure that Penn State took a look at Eli Drinkwitz, because if not, I wouldn't be doing my job as representation.
Everybody's thinking Florida.
Do they call Clark Lee Penn State? Does it get to that point?
They should. They should call
He'll get a
him.
raise for it. Like, he's not leaving Vanderbilt. Sure.
The thing that sucks about the Clark Lee situation is that after he beat Florida, I saw him over at Centennial, because our kids are on the same hockey team. I think I've said this before. And he has an approachability and a locality to him that obviously is real, because he literally grew up here, literally played at NBA, down the street, alma mater. I think Clark wants to be here forever. I think he wants to author a change in Vanderbilt that goes all the way to its DNA, to its fundamental representation in football, and do something akin to Signetti. I'm not saying it's the same caliber. I'm not saying Vanderbilt becomes perennial playoff, but I think it is in Clark Lee's true heart that he goes and changes the perception of Vanderbilt forever. However, this is a business, and this is you are in the Southeastern Conference, which is the business of all businesses in college football.
For sure.
So you have to engage in this kind of stuff periodically, I think, to keep your brand strong as an individual coach. I think he wants to be here forever. A lot of people want to be places forever. A lot of people say mama called and they go in for that dream. I've seen a lot of dream jobs in flames the last 5 years. A lot. So if you're Clark Lee and Penn State is open, you go have that conversation, because that makes you better. It makes Vanderbilt better if you choose to stay. It makes everybody's better for that. He's also a CAA client. It's like being a Scott Boras client. I mean, in baseball.
He's going to get paid one way or another. There's no doubt about that.
And I'm not saying that as like, I'm not trying to cast an aspersion. I know the CAA guys listen.
It's the sport.
And like this is what you do.
It's the business, for sure.
Yeah.
I love it.
I think he wants to be here. I think, and also if you can force Vanderbilt's hand, even if you have a great relationship with Candace and them, and I think he does.
Do it.
Push for that building, push for that thing, push for that plane, push for whatever it takes to keep Vanderbilt above the 6-win line. They will build you a statue. I'm not kidding.
Literally. Yeah. Stephen Godfrey in studio. It always flies by. Appreciate you, sir.
It's way too quick.
Good stuff.
I'll come see y'all again.
It's way too quick, Godfrey.
Coming
Don't
up.
get arrested.
I have my metal glasses on.
Don't get
I
arrested.
told Will on the break, I can't afford it.
TPD.
Those people don't know you have the meta glasses on.
Yeah,
And I do
way
mean
too much
those
going on.
people.
Like I've been a public figure for a while now.
Yes, sir. Don't do that.
And I'm just like, no. Now,
I just saw Jason Swain tweeted himself, said, "You're not playing tomorrow." Jason Swain to Jason Swain.
if they climb up in the booth, is it all hands? Like
That's fine.
well, okay, all right,
All
go.
hands.
Keep the halo. You've done pass pro.
So I'll
all
punch
right?
down.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Just pass pro. All right. That's all. You just keep your leverage. All right.
Coming up,
appreciate
Tate Matthews,
That's
little
great
high school football
insight,
talk
Godfrey.
for you coming up next.
9:02, good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. Happy Friday, I'm Justin Hawkins. Sunday, former Tennessee Titans head coach Mike Vrabel and the 4-2 New England Patriots come to town as interim head coach Mike McCoy makes his head coaching debut for the Titans when he leads them at Nissan Stadium. Lee Company countdown to kickoff starts at 9 a.m. before Titans Countdown on Titans Radio at 11. And then it's Taylor Zarzour, Dave McGinnis with the call for Titans-Patriots at 12 o'clock right here on 104.5 The Zone. A big football slate in the SEC tomorrow. Number 17 Vanderbilt Commodores host number 10 LSU Tigers in Nashville at 11 a.m. on ABC. Then at 2:30 on ABC, it's number 9 Georgia Bulldogs hosting number 5 Ole Miss in Athens. And then, of course, it's the third Saturday in October, so number 11 Tennessee Vols taking on number 6 Alabama Crimson Tide under the lights in Tuscaloosa with kickoff at 6:30. Mike Keith, Ramon Foster on the call for Vol Network coverage starting at 4 o'clock right here on The Zone. Tonight in the MLB, the Dodgers with a 3-0 lead over the Milwaukee Brewers. In the NLCS, look to make a clean sweep and charge the World Series in Game 4 tonight on TBS at 7:38. And then in the ALCS, the Blue Jays and the Mariners series tied 2-2. Game 5 tonight at 5:08 on FS1. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing need, you've got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Away we go into the fourth and final hour of Friday morning. You made it to the weekend. Congratulations. We're going to get you a little bit closer, 60 minutes closer than we hand the baton. He's Ramon Foster. I'm Will Bowling. Ramona Will is fueled by Scooter's Coffee and joining us this morning, as he does Fridays of the fall at 9 a.m., 104.5 The Zone's high school football expert. He is the one and only Tate Matthews, presented by Freedom Boat Club. Week 9 of high school football already tonight under the Friday night lights. Tate, what's up? Good morning.
Good morning, fellas. Week 9. After tonight, we'll only have 2 more weeks of the regular season. Everybody's back from fall break. Well, not everybody. Most everybody's back from fall break. It seems like all the private schools got together and said, hey, we're going to go a week after. So everybody's back except for the privates, or most of the privates, and they're on fall break this week. And then 2 more weeks, man, we'll be talking playoffs. It's crazy.
Yes. I love it. Tate, if people are on fall break, might be a good time to go out on the water this weekend with Freedom Boat Club.
Without a doubt, the Freedom Boat Club of Tennessee. I've been talking to you about them all season. And one other thing that you need to know about, they've got the reciprocal reservations that you can make when you're a member. So if there is a Freedom Boat Club of location, wherever you are in the United States, really the world, but anywhere in the United States, if you're down in Florida, they've got them all over the place. You get 4 reciprocal reservations per year. So go down to Florida. You want to go over to Crab Island right off of Destin. I know you've been there, Will, or home, but get you a little try-tune. Go pull up at Crab Island. That's something you can do as well. So, but when we're talking about in Tennessee, same as always, they've got 12 top-tier locations, 7 of them right there in Middle Tennessee. And all you got to do is join up. You got a one-time entry fee and then your monthly dues, top-of-the-line fleet of tri-tunes, bow riders, surf boats. They've got the double-deckers. They own the boats, and you just take them out, have a good time on the water, and they do the rest. So, and again, now's the best time to join. They're running specials right now on their membership, and anybody who's ever owned a boat knows this time of year is no fun. You got to start pulling it out of the water. You got to get it winterized, serviced. Hey, man, Freedom Boat Club of Tennessee takes care of all that. FreedomBoatClubTN.com.
All right, Tate, let's start with a Region 4 6A matchup tonight. Lebanon at 7-0 against a Green Hill team that is 5-2. But winners of 4 in a row and still undefeated in region play. Huge region implications and number 1 seed implications in this one.
Yeah, this for first place in Region 6 4A. And Lebanon, I think it's the way Coach Gentry, Chuck Gentry kind of likes it. But this is really kind of the most quiet 7-0 in the state, I think. You know, I think it's kind of snuck up on everybody a little bit that they're 7-0, but they're still unbeaten. Green Hill's 5-2. Green Hill's losses are to Ravenwood and Page, so no shame in that. But they're both 2-0 in the region, and Green Hill will have Mount Juliet and Wilson Central left, and Lebanon will have Gallatin and Cookeville left. So this really will go a long way. I think whoever wins this does end up winning the region, but Lebanon's playing really well. Again, Coach Gentry's got them playing really well on offense as they normally do. They got a really nice quarterback in Austin Harrison. He doesn't make very many mistakes, 9 touchdowns, but only 2 interceptions. He's not a guy that's going to be called on to throw it 30, 40 times to win the game, but he does a great job of making sure that getting them in and out of and not making a whole lot of mistakes. Their top running back, Gian Izeta, what a great name that is. Football name. He's the running back. He's back. He came back a couple weeks ago. He's a little banged up. He averages over 9.2 yards per carry with 12 touchdowns, and he's only played in 5 games. So when I see that, I always wonder how could you possibly lose when you're averaging 9.2 yards per carry. But that was a really big addition, getting him back a couple of weeks ago for the Blue Devils. And then defensively, Jawan Stafford leads the way at defensive end, and Coach Gentry really needs him, or is really expecting him to kind of disrupt, be a disruptor down there on the D-line and pressure the returning Mr. Football semifinalist quarterback Cannon Burrows from Green Hill. And when you're talking about Green Hill, we talked about him at the beginning of the year, and it's been the same story. As Cannon goes, they kind of go. Again, he's a returning Mr. Football quarterback from last year, and he's having another fantastic year this year, both with his arm and his feet. So Green Hill wants to speed the game up and make Lebanon try to keep up with them, and Lebanon wants to slow this one down a little bit and keep Mr. Burrows off the field.
And Tate Matthews with us this morning talking high school football. Man, there's 5-2. Good Pasture got to go to Grace Christian down in Franklin, who's undefeated right now. Good Pasture's kind of turned this thing over from where they were last year. Man, how will they compete against Grace Christian?
Yeah, this game really jumps out for a lot of reasons, but the D2 AA Middle Region game, the thing I love about it is here Franklin Grace they're 7-0, 3-0 in the region. So if Grace beats Good Pasture, fellas, they will go into week 10 tied, because FRA's 4-0, Grace is 3-0. FRA's open tonight. If they win, they're going to go into week 10 tied for first place in the region. Then they'll have FRA and Battleground Academy left. But Ramon, you probably do. Will definitely remembers. Hey man, it wasn't too long ago. This wouldn't even be a conversation. Franklin Grace playing up in D2 AA, and then much less being tied for first place with FRA going into week 10, man. That program's come so far. Coach Bob Jordan's done a great job with it, and a lot of people talking about their offense, and they should, but I think the thing that jumps out about Grace, they're only giving up 7.85 wins, 7.85 points per game on the season. They've got back-to-back wins over Davidson and JP2. And again, it wasn't just 2-3 years ago that nobody would have believed that, So they got a really nice quarterback in Knox Lambert, and then we've got our guy, the DeGraff boys, right? Grayson DeGraff's their leading wide receiver, and he's having an all-state type of year. And then Warren DeGraff, the young man we talked about at the beginning of the year. When Coach Dr. Dyson was in for Ramon, but Warren DeGraff, the young man who's in his 5th year of eligibility with because he's been battling leukemia. He's having a fantastic year, man. That touchdown in week 1 wasn't a one-hit wonder. I mean, he's getting one about every game. So they've got a really nice offense, but I think it comes down to the defense. And Good Pasture, who was 0-10, Ramon was mentioning last year, what a turnaround they've had. They want to run the ball, and they're going to do it with Davidson Academy transfer Caden Stroud. He's got a really nice season going on, 716 yards, 15 touchdowns, 5.26 yards per carry. But then their quarterback, Chase Angel, even though he's got 1,000 passing yards and 10 touchdowns, he's a 5.53 yard per carry guy. So look to Good Pasture it's kind of like Lebanon and Green Hill. Good Pasture wants to slow it down, run the ball, and Grace wants to open this thing up and fling the ball around the field, get guys in space.
Both of them coming off the bye week, I think, fall break, because I'm a Hendersonville guy myself, Sumner County, but Gallatin at Beach. I can hear the train horns every time they score. What kind of matchup would those two get, man? As Gallatin's kind of righted the ship themselves also. Beach has been a standard in it for a while.
You can hear the train horns from your house when they're lighting it up.
Yeah. I'm on my back porch.
Thank you for telling us what a train horn sounded like.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
That was pretty good, Ramon.
You're welcome for that one, Tate. I hear it.
Maybe you can do that tomorrow after the first Big Orange score tomorrow.
Listen, I'll be making bombs. Never mind. We'll go. We'll get there when we get there, Tate. I'm not playing.
I know it. Hey, I really like this game. Now, it's a little confusing to some people because Beach is 5A and Gallatin is 6A. So this is not a region game, but they're both 5-1 on the year. They both share a common loss, and that's to Green Hill. Beach lost to them 21-38 in week 1 on the TV game, and then Gallatin fell to Green Hill 13-46 in week 4. But they both are unbeaten outside of that. A little bit of uncertainty now with Gallatin with the injury a few weeks ago to their quarterback Jackson Stroop. But man, they've got a guy named Keeson Barksdale now. Anytime a guy like Stroop goes out, right, that's gonna change your team a little bit. But this young man, they were really excited about him coming up next year. But the Barksdale youngster he's explosive, he's athletic, and he's definitely not going to throw the ball as well as Stroop, but he throws it well. But he causes a whole different set of problems with his feet. So I know Coach Crabtree, that's something that really concerns him. And they had the bye week last week, so he's had 2 more weeks to get ready and settle in as QB1. So going to be fun to watch him tonight. But that's a guy, if you haven't seen them play and you're going, check out Barksdale on the Gallatin side. But then Beach, it's what we always know. They're going to be multiple offensively. They're going to come downhill, come at you. And Caden Powell, their 250-pound quarterback, who we talked about earlier in the year, asked Coach Crabtree how many times the quarterback's going to run it tonight. What do you think he said, guys? He said as many as he needs to run it. So you might see Caden Powell carrying the ball 30 times tonight.
Great stuff as always. Tate Matthews, 9 a.m. Fridays, previewing the high school football week. Fall break for some and a loaded slate as well. Presented as always by Freedom Boat Club. Tate, thank you, sir. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, fellas. Go Big Orange, Ramon. Safe travels. Have a good call tomorrow.
Thank you.
Tate Matthews joining us this morning, talking some high school football. And when we come back, another guest in a loaded Friday lineup. We'll talk a little Titans. Talk about the third Saturday in October, of course, and whatever else he wants to talk about.
I think basketball.
When sounds like it. With Ron Slay coming up next.
Is your concrete in need of repair? Maybe your sidewalk has shifted on you, your driveway is cracked and sinking, or your porch steps have moved. Shifty concrete can create a dangerous situation, just trip hazard around your home. It's also just a big eyesore. It's Ramon Foster, and whatever's going on with your concrete, call United Structural Systems. Ask them about their polyurethane foam injections. You've heard about USS for a long time. It's the same company that's provided superior foundation repair and waterproofing to Middle Tennessee since 1994. Well, they can fix your sunken or settling concrete. USS uses polyurethane foam injections to lift and repair your sinking concrete in a matter of minutes. Lifted concrete can be walked on immediately or even driven on after about 30 minutes. So don't go through the long, expensive process of ripping out and replacing concrete. Reach out to the company I trust, man. You can call them at 615-488-7855 or go to their website, ussTN.com. That's ussTN.com. United Structural Systems.
Friday morning, Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee. Locally owned scooters in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, Justin Hawkins, our producer, joined, when you hear this music, by Ron Slay, in studio once again this morning. What's up?
What's happening, good people?
How we doing?
Can I call him out before he get going? Because I was told by
y'all
somebody.
just do what you need to do.
I was told by somebody that, number one, Ron Slay and I, we continually tell people, Ron, what's our connection?
We brothers.
Would you have half of my DNA?
Absolutely.
And I got half of yours.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
We share half of the same thing.
They are literally brothers.
It's
Hold
like
on,
it's
since
it's
when?
a fact.
Since birth.
Like, I mean, since Big Ron talked about, you know what I mean?
Yeah, before he was
do.
roaming the streets like a pit bull. Okay? We have the same father. Our father, he laughed because it's true.
Hey, man,
Our father,
It's like a pit bull. It's
Ronald
crazy.
Holland, Ronald Sylvester Holland is his father, which is mine. I'm Ramon Centel. RS is the thing.
Yeah.
You're Slay. I'm Foster, though.
Yep.
Okay?
Only different.
But Big Dog is what we call him.
Yeah. He definitely big guy.
He's a TSU alum.
Yeah.
And it's Tennessee State's homecoming.
Oh, absolutely.
And what colors do you have on today, Ron Slack?
I got blue and white on, man. I
Yeah.
got my big blue rising.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Got
Okay,
my-
shout out to
You know,
TSU
you know
first
what
and
I mean?
foremost.
Shout out to Slim and Huskers, too, man.
Yeah.
Got my, you know what I mean? Got my Slim and Husky edition. You know what I mean? Get geek. Y'all see it. It's homecoming week.
Those are
There it
fresh.
is.
Come
Get
on,
kicked
man.
this homecoming week, man.
Come
So
on,
shout out to
buddy.
TSU
Tiger
this weekend.
stripes.
I only got one request for TSU homecoming this weekend.
Please.
Make it enjoyable.
Yeah.
I don't even want to go at Nashville by saying locals be cool, students be cool, everybody be cool.
Everybody be
I was at the
cool.
barbershop yesterday and I had this seasoned lady. She was bringing her husband to go get a cut. And she was like, you going? I was like, no. She was an alum and everything too. She's like, I don't know if I should go, baby. And I was just like, you probably shouldn't, auntie. Just sit this one out.
Just be cool.
But what she was saying is the reason she didn't think she was going to go is because, hey, be cool. Right, Savage?
Yep.
That's the message.
That is the message. Like, especially with everything that transpired last year with the parade. You know what I mean? People, shootings. Like, dude, this is a family fun event. You know what I mean? Something to bring the community together, bring the old back with the new generation.
And they love coming back.
And let them know. Like, they love it. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. It's vendors set up all the way down Jefferson Street. Like, it's parties taking place. They started last night. I heard, shout out, I think, NBA Youngboy concert went off without a glitch. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was
I
pretty
did
good
hear
last
about
night.
that.
You know what I'm saying? So that was cool. It's just keep the energy, man. Loving energy. I mean, there's plenty of places to go. There's plenty of artists in town. Howard's coming down from D.C. You know what I mean? So welcome them. They said last year it was crazy in D.C. They opened arms, you know what I mean? Let everybody come through, show love. So plenty of spots to go to, man. Gyms, the old Willie B's, you got Cavalli's, you got JG and Black Rob throwing things, man. You got everybody coming together. This gonna be it. This gonna be it. So just be cool.
I wanted Nashville's own, my brother, to say that part.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, man. And they're cranking it up, man, with a special guest tonight. Well, no, not tonight, today, with the pep rally. Over in the Hale Stadium, in the hole, like they like to call it. But Young Jeezy is performing at the pep rally, so it's coming. It's coming. This is how you're supposed to do it.
That's how you're supposed to do it.
That's how you're supposed to do it. So here we go.
That is.
That's it.
Love it.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Who do you want the Titans to hire?
That's you. Shoot, might as well go. See if we can reincarnate John Merritt since we talking about TSU. You know what I mean? Bring Coach Merritt back in there. Maybe he can bring some Richard Dents in there. You know what I'm saying? Big Ron's in there. Like some Coach Fitzgerald. Like, you know, Larry Kennebrews, all these people. Gillum's back in there. I don't know, man. I'm going to be real, Willie. I want to see this thing slow walk through. You know what I mean? I want to see this thing. I want to go through the process of this one with a fine-tooth comb because I feel like everything else has been patchwork. You know what I mean? Whether it's the situation with Vrabel, John Robinson, Rand Carthon, now Brian Callahan, what's next? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's everybody get on the same accord. When I say let's let everybody over there get on the same accord, push in the same direction without any backroom deals being done, without any people looking over their shoulder. Understand what's in the forefront of you. You got the number one pick. Cosell talked about it and Savage hit on it yesterday, man. You got to build around him. Like, it's so whoever's used to building around a number one pick, that's what you need. One, experience.
Right.
I think that would be the first thing that I would look for, man. Like, the experience, you got to have that. You got to have people that understand how to handle all things related to football, whether that be the interviews, whether that be the rooms as far as O-line room, D-line room, whatever it is. And then be able to, when you get in the one room, bring everybody together and everybody understand there's one common message. You know what I mean? That's what I think is lost right now. What's the mantra of the Titans?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With so many things changing and revolving doors, like, what's the mantra? We like, the fans don't know. So, I mean, we just continue keep saying tighten up. Tighten what? Tighten the bolts, tighten up the screws, like tighten up your hairline, tighten up, like, what are we tightening up? The shoelaces?
Yeah.
Like, we don't know. We're just speaking broad in general, you know what I mean? So,
and hoping it works.
Yeah, hoping it works. So whoever can come in, man, and settle things down and get people on the right track, whatever track that is. Even if it's the wrong track, let's go down the wrong track
together.
Well, and to your point, and I've compared this to a previous situation of a team we know well, and you're uniquely positioned to speak about this because people know that you were a multiple-time SEC Player of the Year at Tennessee. In the way Tennessee hired Rick Barnes to stabilize everything, it is easy to forget how we viewed that hire in the moment. Because in the moment, nobody ever expected Rick Barnes to have the success that he's had at Tennessee.
Or be there this long.
Heck, even Josh Heupel. I don't think we expected Josh Heupel to have the level of success. But you went for stabilizing, high floor, I know what I'm getting. Let's leave it better than we found it for the guy after whoever is this next guy.
Yeah.
It feels like the Titans are in that kind of moment to where the Mike McCarthys of the world are going to be really valuable here because stability is just so critical, because you don't give a lot of guys with high ceilings a chance to meet that ceiling when you keep changing the DNA of what kind of player you want in the front office or in the coaching staff every 2 or 3 years.
Totally agree. And I think to that point, what was all on board before even getting to that point was you understood what you had in Danny White. You understand, like, look at the pieces you brought back. Chancellor Plowman came back. Randy Boyd was in place. But they all understood to each other, like, okay, Danny, whichever way you're going, that's where we're going. You unite the sports front. Chancellor Plowman, I'll go get the kids. I'll get the student population on board. That's the fan base, you know what I mean, for Burke Nihill. You know what I mean? Chad Brinker and Mike Borgonzi, whoever's in charge, y'all got to handle the football part.
Right.
Get that going the right way. Miss Amy's Randy Boyd. Like, okay, when y'all need to see me, I'm out front with y'all. We holding hands, kumbaya. I ain't saying a word, but y'all see me out front. Y'all understand what it is. We are one. We are united. This is what it is. So if you get them pushing in the right direction and you bring a guy in like that, if it's Mike McCarthy, that's cool. But put all your faith behind him. That's the thing, man. So that unison is something else, man. I've never seen a successful program and it be one. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
like just one person that's able to call all the shots. They usually don't last long. You know what I'm saying? If you look at the model that we tried to go out after in the New England Patriots, that was what it was, but it wasn't necessarily the head coach that was going to be able to pull the strings the entire time. You know what I mean? We don't know what. We saw after Belichick left how much power Robert Kraft had and was still pulling strings behind the scenes. Just wasn't never in the forefront. He was a guy that liked to talk to as far as owners go. But it still was not all on Belichick. But they put all their faith in one thing, and they all pulled in the same direction. So we never knew because of success.
What's fascinating, though, too, is twofold on the New England side of things, though. It's what I think Vrabel's trying to do from a head coaching perspective now.
Yeah.
They did have Bill, but the further and further Brady got away from him, the bigger the conversation comes into how that stayed together.
Yep.
My point is this. If you are going to have somebody that's going to be that type of guy, the way Bill Belichick was, and I think he was right for what the league was at the time.
Right.
The disciplinarian side of it. you better find, to your point about surrounding Cam, a Brady.
Yeah.
Because talking to people surrounding that situation, how you have that conversations is, like Bill Belichick was nice and it's cool and it looks good. But if you got players that can lead the way, that can dive deeper into the conversation of it's about us at the end of the day, then you get the New England side of it.
Right.
I think Vrabel now is getting to the point where he's showing and proving this way works if you buy in.
Yeah.
They're young enough now as a team, especially with Drake May being the quarterback. He ain't got no choice but to believe.
Yeah.
He hadn't shown yet that he's capable of going to go take over an entire team, but Vrabel has.
Yeah.
And they bought in.
But see,
your point to the buy-in is who or where do you buy in Nashville, Tennessee?
Yeah. And so those are two different perspectives. That's a football mind speaking from a player's perspective and me speaking from a fan perspective looking on the outside.
For sure.
You know what I mean? As far as, so now it's like, okay, we talking about what's the moniker? Like, what is your mantra that you're following? You need to get more football people in the room that understand what the tradition is and what the values are of the foundation that was laid. So you can follow that. That came over years of success and some failure on the back end of it. I mean, on the front end of it. But then you got what you had, but you never get to that point with the revolving door you have.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
That's a great point.
That's it. But look at those two different perspectives. You know what I'm saying? That's what matters because that's what's going to win.
Right.
Players. And then guess what? We coming up. I can't wait to be at the stadium. You know what I mean? So it's a lot, man.
It sounds like you're tired of it.
No, it's just a lot, and it's real life. We're on a real life merry-go-round.
And firing a coach doesn't fix all of the issues. Is the
not at all. Not at all. Like
we're going to see that Sunday.
Literally coming back. We can easily be right back at this same point next year. Easily.
Yeah. Right.
Very easy.
100%.
And that's crazy. Because we were there the year before. When we were thinking about trying to go get the number one pick.
And before that year, it was, we're going to do the head coach thing.
There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
And 18 months later, you're right back at home plate.
Tennessee's going to play Alabama tomorrow night in Bryant-Denny Stadium. It's the third Saturday in October. It is played on this weekend every year. What are your feelings about this matchup and the game that's going to be played? Look, we've talked about it all morning and all week.
Yeah.
We have to rewire our brains like NFL fans. On any given Saturday, anything can happen. Tennessee can absolutely win this game. What do they got to do it, in your opinion?
I think they got to come out the gate, and you gotta play fast. Also, you got to be able to offensively control the time of possession. Now, that don't mean that you slow it down and you know what I mean. But if you have a flow going, such as that Mississippi State game when they came out Mississippi State game, that flow was rolling. You know what I mean? Defensively, they set the tone. When Staley fumbled the punt, okay, defense had to get a stop, whatever it is, what it is. But once Joey got on the field, guys were hitting, you know what I mean? You were getting pinpoint. Same thing for Georgia. You came out firing. You know what I mean? Nothing was rushed. You stuck to the script. Things were rolling. If you could come out and do that and you put them on their heels where they you got to let them know early it's going to be a game. You have to. Because once that crowd gets rolling, it's a problem. And I will say, man, with Heupel going down there, his game plan is intact.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we saw it 2 years ago with a guy that couldn't necessarily deliver in Joe Milton. You know what I mean? And, man, they were on point down there. And I also believe that the running factor of Joey Aguilar offensively is going to be huge. You know what I mean? And being smart, when to get down, but to put that ball in the belly and get it on out of there, man, and you get 6, 7, 8 yards, you know what I mean, and get down and you stay ahead of the chains, like you got something. You got something rolling. I think it's really going to rely on, too, man, we got to get them turnovers. We got to get them turnovers. My two things would be turnovers and get into the box.
Yeah.
Get into the box. Like, it ain't the threes are cool late game if you shoot up a lot of clock and you up 13.
You can't win this game kicking it.
Not there.
No.
Not there. Because listen, they waiting on the snowball. They wait. They just need a little measly rock to come down Everest.
They did it at Vandy.
Exactly.
Red zone turnovers.
That's all it takes, man.
I hate to keep referencing 23, but they did the
that's what it
exact
was.
same. They got the sack fumble.
Field goals. Because Tennessee should have been up
field goals. That's
3
right.
scores at one point in that
Yep.
game, and they never got it to 3 scores.
It fell apart.
Tennessee could have won by 4 scores last year with how many guys they schemed wide open, and Nico Imaliava overthrew them.
Yeah.
Josh Heupel's always been good in this game.
Yeah.
Even going back to his first season when he took a team that was very overmatched to Tuscaloosa, that was a game in the fourth quarter. I think Josh Heupel lives for games like this. And if you're a Tennessee fan this morning, that's what gives you the most hope, is that he will have the team ready to go.
Yeah.
It's the South Carolinas and Mississippi States and Missouris, and it's those games that Arkansas of the world that Josh Heupel's got to show some improvement. I don't worry about him and his game plan going into Alabama.
I wish and hope that DeBoer says, you know what, I'll beat you at your own game, Heupel.
Boy.
That's what I hope.
If it's a shootout, that's the game script that Tennessee can have success in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's played in the 40s.
That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Like, we going to
I'm with
scheme.
you.
We gonna out-battle you. You know what kind of receivers we got? We're going to test your DBs. We know what kind of receivers y'all got? Test our DB. Let's go to war. Like, I'm pleased. Let's keep it like that. I'm with that.
So
I'm definitely with that.
I've been told there is a piece of audio
Okay.
from our producer, Justin Hawkins, on a show that you've been on before that emanates from the state of Alabama that's taken some shots. You'll hear that coming up next.
Come on.
Ramon Will, 104.5 The Zone, wrapping up the show and wrapping up the week. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, Ron Slays. So Tennessee's going to play Alabama tomorrow night. Ramon is going to
The Lions Den.
broadcast it. He's going into the Lions Den. Next Round Live is a great show that emanates from the state of Alabama. Ron Slay has been a guest on said show before.
What's the name of it?
The Next Round Live.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
For all of the conversation about Dixieland Delight being a song about Tennessee, which it was written about Rutledge, Tennessee. If you're unfamiliar, that's where the Granger County tomatoes come from that you eat at your local grocery stores, chains or local. Granger County tomatoes, very good. Shout out my buddy Zach, who's from there.
What up, Zach?
That is what Dixieland Delight was written about. Next Round Live now claims that Rocky Top wasn't written about Tennessee.
For those who don't know, Tennessee fans claim that Dixieland Delight is a Tennessee Saturday night. They think it's a Tennessee song. It was sung by the band Alabama. There's a river called the Tennessee River that runs through Alabama that those guys were growing up on. It's Tennessee Saturday Night on the river. But, whatever you want to do, fighting for the rights to Dixieland Delight. Other teams love to sing it at Alabama. After especially Tennessee when they beat Alabama.
That's true.
So they haven't sent, they don't get a chance to sing it in Tuscaloosa. They just do it in Knoxville every now and then, not as many times as they would like.
Subtle.
But Joe, who listens to our show, father of 2 beautiful daughters and his beautiful wife, listens to our show. He sent us this. If they're going to battle over this, they should check their own backyard first. Rocky Top is a sub-peak of Thunderhead Mountain, which overlooks Cades Cove. And traversed by the Appalachian Trail, Rocky Top appears on the map of the Western Smokies as early as 1934 and has been a popular hiking destination since the Great Smoky Mountains National Park was created during the same period. The rocky outcropping at the peak is about 25 yards long and is located on the North Carolina side of the state border.
Get out.
Good old Rocky Top is not even in freaking Tennessee.
It's a basketball mountain, not even a football mountain.
Yeah, so take your Dixieland Delight and smoke that.
Next Round Live.
Golly, hey, you talking about, good
That's what
God,
that hand motion was, Will.
Man, that's right there when you've missed the buffet and you trying to, the doors are closed, they done turned the sign around and you right there knocking on the window like, but y'all got 2 more minutes. Come on, like, dog, go home. Just come back tomorrow. Like, it ain't worth it. We got scraps out here. Like, this is what you want? Just meet us out back by the dumpster, dog. You can take anything you want to out the trash can. Like, cut it out, y'all. Cut that one out. Like, that.
Give us that. Never in the recent history of this matchup have they ever had to stoop this low.
No.
They just patch on your head and smack you in the behind. Go ahead, little dog. Go on about your business. That's how you know.
Yeah, it's at their doorstep.
That's how you know.
That's how you know you've rocked the boat a little bit.
Well, that's how you know the boat ain't rowing in the same direction no more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's somebody up front, there's somebody behind just rowing in the opposite direction. So one of our comments said, they are so dumb it hurts.
That was like,
for you to make sense, play the song.
That's all.
Play the song and everybody know where it's from and
Come
what
on, man.
they know.
Come on, man. We know exactly what this is, man. This is worldwide, not nationwide. This is worldwide.
Play the damn song, man.
Dog. You
know what that's to.
Come on, man. Y'all in trouble. That's all it is. I know one thing. Boy, we go down there and we spank that butt. Woo!
A little butt.
Listen, I'm praying. I'm praying and I'm praying to the man upstairs, the big orange Jesus on this one. Listen,
we
man.
separate church and state over here.
Yeah, because this right here, this is football Saturdays right here. We're going to be in there on Sunday, but this right here on Saturday. Hey, man, listen. I'm praying I have a job if we beat Alabama. Like, take anything I say, I'm leaving it right there. I don't mean no harm. But boy, y'all gonna feel it. I told Will, because he's sitting on the opposite side that I am. Will from the Ville, he going down with me. Savage will be up there in the booth. I always can get a little picture of my dog. I don't know how far they booth up is, you know what I mean? But if you see an orange shirt go up in the air, that means come help me. That means
I'm coming down.
Like on the boat when the brother threw the hat. Everybody jumped out. In Alabama. They jumped
on the
out,
dock. On the pier.
It's on, y'all.
If
you see my orange shirt go off and go in the air, y'all come running. Because I got some Bama folks trying to jump me, and I'm swinging from the shoulder. I promise you. And I mean it. And my cigar's lit. I'm going to be out that thing like Red Auerbach. You hear me?
I brought them Sans-Paril.
Come on, man. We need them all.
Don't bring them out unless we have
need them all,
Nextron Live has not thought through this very critically, because if the song said Rocky Top, North Carolina, then they would have a point the same way Dixieland Delight is.
Come on,
because
Will.
Dixieland Delight says on a Tennessee Saturday night. What part of Tennessee Saturday night makes that song about Alabama?
Start talking
What
about
do they
the river.
say in Rocky Top? Good old Rocky Top.
Woo!
Rocky Top. Wait for it.
Hold
Wait
up.
for it.
Yeah.
Wait for it.
Yeah.
Tennessee.
That's right.
That makes the song also about Tennessee. I know reading comprehension isn't very high down there, and y'all love the state of Arkansas because it makes you 50th in every education stat. There's nothing Alabama people love more than Arkansas, because it means they don't have to be 50th in everything. They can be 49th in literacy, in education, in obesity, in all of these things. We're going to have to knock you down to 50th based off of this. This is foul is what this is. This is foul.
It's
Give me a
reaching, man.
break. It's not even about Tennessee. It says Rocky Top, Tennessee
Like,
in the song.
What y'all talking about?
What's crazy, in the last 25 years, they've never had the punch like this to survive.
No, they haven't.
The fans ain't ever had the punch to survive like
they haven't,
this.
Savage. The vitriol is real.
Y'all say it ain't no right. Bull crap.
It's elevated.
Bullshiano is what I say to that one, man. You got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Very
No,
foolish.
ain't no anyway
Very
no more,
foolish.
okay? They can't come out here and say this type of stuff on radio.
Yeah.
Okay, and expect people to be like believing what they're saying.
Yeah.
Rocky Top, North Carolina. Yeah,
That's
I know
how
we
foolish.
connected and y'all didn't go that far in geography class to study maps. I get that. We are a connected state, okay?
Yeah.
But it says in the song, what you said, good old Rocky Top. Woo! Rocky Top where?
Tennessee.
That's right.
Tennessee. You tried.
Hopefully
And
that
that was
song's
cute.
being sung a lot.
definitely tried.
Brian did it.
I can't say.
We'll see.
I'm going to be hoarse.
Sans-Parel's gold label is packed up.
Man, I can't wait, Savage.
I'm talking about sweet as bear.
boy.
I want to
Boy,
see
boy.
Ramon doing that USS recap, walking off the field with a cigar in his
That's gonna
mouth
be
on
good.
Saturday on the field in Tuscaloosa. That's what I want to see.
You know what my first word is going to be? Walk in your trap.
Yeah.
Take
Well,
over.
let's-
Take
well,
over your
let's-
trap. And guess
let's
what?
see.
I'm going to be ready. I promise you, I will not leave my seat. I will not leave my seat till I see Savage come down on that field. And I'm walking out the field with him. I'm jumping across the little wall, and I dare somebody.
They got hedges there, too.
I dare somebody to put me out. I try to touch me. I dare y'all.
I dare.
My boy got bond money.
I swear. How you gonna go to war and you got no money?
Man,
And we got it.
And we got it, man.
Play us out to Rocky Top this morning. Rocky
Bring a
Top.
bell out of North Carolina over here. Come on,
Tennessee,
man.
No,
not
we ain't
Alabama,
going.
not North Carolina. Back at it Monday morning,
baby.
bright and early, 6 a.m. Ramon on the call tomorrow night. Tennessee, Alabama.
Rocket. It didn't even make sense.
0 cents.
And I respect people in this sports media world, man, but not on that one, man.
No.
But y'all know how we do on Friday, whether you're a Bama fan or you're a Vols fan, man. Make it back to us on Monday. Buy somebody a random drink, have a random conversation. Call your people. Apologize to your people, too, man. Life too short, man. Y'all know what we do on this thing, man. ELE. Everybody love everybody. We still bleed the same colors red, man. So, hey, peace. Good weekend.
Is located on the North Carolina side of the state border.
Get out.
Good old Rocky Top is not even in freaking Tennessee.
It's a basketball mountain, not even a football mountain.
Yeah, so take your Dixieland Delight and smoke that.